What is going on, Jets Nation? It is the Jets Media Podcast. It's Richie and it's Jack.
Yo.
And we are on another Victory Monday high.
Wow.
3 straight wins in a row for these New York Jets. Now, it was ugly, and we're going to break it all down in the most improbable way possible. The Jets find a way to win with 24 seconds left, no timeouts. Zach Wilson goes down the field on 2 plays. Greg Zuerlein gets us into overtime, and the Jets somehow, someway pull off a sloppy, wet, rainy day, and the Jets beat the New York Giants. I'm hyped up right now, and we're going to break it all down to lay it all out for you guys. So, folks, please hit that thumbs up button on your way in. We appreciate it. Jack, how you feeling right now? It feels like I don't even know how to put into words.
Dude, I don't know how I'm feeling right now, man. I mean, the Jets got the W yesterday. At the end of the day, that's all that freaking matters, and I'm freaking absolutely stoked to be 4-3 on the year. But at the same time, you know, all this hype that went into this New York matchup, man, and it was the ugliest game that we've all seen in a while, man. I don't think Jets or Giants fans were hyped at all yesterday. What a weird situation, right? I mean, 2 opposing teams' fans, crosstown rivals, hate each other. Nobody was excited watching that game yesterday. I guess Jets fans were excited at the very, very end, but man, oh man, what a freaking ugly stink fest of a game that we watched yesterday. But at the end of the day, man, all that matters is the Jets W. We're going to get deeper and deeper into it, but we're 4-3, brother.
We're 4-3, 3 straight wins. We're going to break it all down. And guys, it's Victory Monday again here on the Jets Media Podcast. It's always a great time to celebrate a Victory Monday, no matter how they get it. And how Robert Saleh quoted it last night, they don't ask how, they ask how many. And that's 4 W's.
It doesn't say almost lost.
It doesn't say that.
It says 1, baby.
It says that, and I love that quote. They don't ask how, they ask how many. And that's what it is. And the reality of it, folks, and it's a week-by-week league. And I don't think we're going to get, you know, a game like that from the Jets, just from the perspective of, like, there was a lot of things that went into that absolute disaster we saw on offense early on in the game, throughout the entirety of the game. And we're going to lay it all out here on the pod. But folks, please do us a gigantic favor. Hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and download the podcast on Apple and Spotify. If you're listening to us on Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your audio format, we greatly appreciate that big time. So let's give a big time shout out to Jets fans for representing at MetLife Stadium, even though I did see a lot of videos of Jets fans celebrating, watching the game on the screen outside of the stadium because they left. They thought the game was over.
As did I, man. As did, I think, everyone. I mean, who the hell thought the Jets, with the way that offense was playing that entire game, with 24 seconds left on the clock, and yes, the Giants helped us out with some penalties. Shout out to them for that. But with 24 seconds left on the clock, Zach Wilson, after having a pretty bad day overall, made a couple big boy plays. And yeah, man,
we just got to figure out, okay, Zach, how do we, you have to just pretend that it's 24 seconds left in the game. It's a 2-point conversion. It's all on the line. It's a clutch situation, and maybe he's on his way to be a GOAT. I don't know. It's just a joke in the grand scheme of things here. But the reality is, when Zach Wilson, the pressure's through the roof, he just plays better. And then throughout the entirety of the game, like 99% of the game, he's off. And then that 1%, he goes out there and executes, and he plays and not even that, in overtime, big time throw to Garrett Wilson, another throw down there. And we're going to get deeper into it, but it's just like mind-boggling. Absolutely mind-boggling that they were able to pull that off. The fact that Graham Gano missed that field goal, and then the Jets go down there and they do what they do. Let's give a big shout out to some specific players, Jack. Thomas Morstead, man. You can argue like his best performance of his career. I mean, 3 punts pinned in the 5-yard line. He had an awesome interview. He was getting very emotional. He was thanking the Jets organization. He's like, he'd never been part of a more respectful organization from the top down. And I thought that was really warming as a Jets fan to hear a guy like Thomas Morstead has been in the NFL for so long to just give the Jets organization their respect, and just like getting emotional how much it means to him to have a team that really appreciates him for what he is.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, unfortunately, he's a huge part of this team, and it's a massive upgrade at the position at the end of the day. You know, it's no small feat. We went from Braden Mann, who absolutely sucked, to veteran Thomas Morstead, who's been absolutely lights out. And once again, you know, we hate how much we have to use this guy, Thomas Morstead. But he is an asset, 100% an asset, man. I mean, I think it was 3 separate times, maybe even more, maybe 4, but I think I remember at least 3 separate times where we pinned them inside the 5. 3 times where we pinned them inside the 5. And that's huge, man. I mean, this was that type of game where field position matters. Every single play matters. Every single play, field position, everything went into this game. It was an ugly, ugly game that was only decided by 3 points. So every single play matters, including those punts, man. That was a big part of the game. Morstead got emotional after the game. I think partly because he kind of senses that he's, at the end of his career now. I'm sure he, after punting however many times he punted yesterday, I'm sure his body was probably not feeling super great after the game yesterday. So a lot of emotions catching up to him. Yeah, punting out there on a rainy day. But to still be doing it at a high level at his age, I'm sure, feels phenomenal no matter what position you play.
Shout out to
doing it in the NFL. Good for you, man. Good for you, Morstead.
Shout out to Big Thomas Morstead, man. That interview got me even emotional. I was really, really happy for him. Golden Robert with the first super chat of the show. We appreciate that.
Thank you, buddy.
Richie, I told you about Zen. 24-second. No, I got this. Yeah, literally. I mean, during my live show, anybody that was during here in the watch party yesterday, I said it. When there was 24 seconds left, I was like, all right, guys, we do have a chance for a miracle here. And obviously, it was a very low probability, but it happened. And that just goes to show you and everybody in the chat during the stream, I can't take you guys sometimes. I mean, even the first quarter, you're telling me the game is over. And like, how many times do I have to say, keep the faith? And I understand that it was improbable, miracle fashion. But the amount of people in the chat all game long saying that it's over, we suck, fire this guy, trade this player. And yes, it was a frustrating game. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have been frustrated during it. But like, this just goes to show you, if you keep the faith, you never know what can happen in sports. We saw it last year against the Cleveland Browns, the week 2 game. That was a crazy miracle win. This miracle win was a little bit different in terms of the fact that it was just sloppy offense all game long, and then they figured out a way to pull it off. But the reality is, it's not over till it's over, okay? It's not over till it's over, so we got to stay zen throughout the game somehow, some way, not let the emotions get the best of us, even though it's a lot harder to do that. And guys, remember, this is going to be a call-in show. We're going to drop the link in just a few minutes. We're going to get you guys in here to drop your reactions, because I'm really, really excited to hear what Jets fans have to say about this game. Another part of this game, Jack, that needs to be brought up is what happened to this offensive line is something that you just can't even put into words, right? I mean, we go in without Joe Tippmann already, okay? And then Connor McGovern goes down. So you're down your starting center. Your backup center is already injured to Joe Tippmann. So Wes Schweitzer has to move from right guard to center, right? And then Newman has to plug in at right guard, fresh off, literally off the street. We signed him 2 weeks ago. And then Wes Schweitzer goes down. Newman has to go in at center, never played center in his NFL career. And then Billy Turner, our offensive tackle, has to plug in at right guard. And after that botched snap on the first play of the fumble, I'm not going to lie, they held up. I mean, they did. They somehow, some way held up. Wasn't perfect, but they did enough to win the game. In overtime, they were like protecting Zach enough, and Zach was able to make his throws. And again, you're talking about an offensive line that is ridiculed, decimated with injuries. So I just got to give Newman a big shout out, because after that boneheaded, missed snap between him and Zach Wilson put the blame on him there, by the way. And then, of course, Newman to be able to go up to the field and be able to spot the ball in the perfect spot. The ref just had to touch it, and they were able to spike it with 1 second left. Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable.
That was crazy, bro. And I was listening to the Fan this morning on the way to the podcast. It's pretty controversial as of right now, how that all went down, how he kind of just spotted the ball. The ref came up to it and tapped it, and they were good to go. The ref is typically the one that should actually be spotting the ball there. But I don't give a shit, man. The Jets get hosed more than any team in pro sports. So you know what? Something like that goes our way. Shout out to Newman. Shout out to these guys that came in and did their thing. I don't even know the guy's name who came in and plugged in at guard.
Billy Turner.
Oh, that's right. Billy Turner. I thought it was some other guy at first, some practice squad undrafted.
It was Xavier Newman at right guard.
Oh, and then when Schweitzer went down, okay. I thought it was 2 practice squad guys on the line yesterday at one point, but I was mistaken. So yeah, I mean, what a lineup that was of Mekhi Becton, Laken Tomlinson, Newman, Billy Turner, and Max Mitchell. I mean, who would have ever thought that this is where we would be? But it's the New York Jets, man. This is what we deal with year in and year out. And, it's a next man up league. Certainly we know that more than others. So, yeah, I mean, these guys ultimately I guess didn't completely implode. I mean, they didn't, the running game was non-existent yesterday. Zach Wilson was our highest rusher with 25
Which
yards
is
on 4
crazy.
carries, 12 carries for Breece Hall, only 17 yards on those 12 carries. But how about Garrett Wilson, man? 7 receptions for 100 yards yesterday.
Let's go Deontay Banks. We got a lot of Giants fans talking crap, saying Deontay Banks about to clamp him up. Banks is just as good as Sauce Gardner. Right. Give me a break.
R-I-G-H-T, right.
Jack
Garrett
Ritchie, what a
Wilson.
wild one. Let's go, JT. You already know it. Let's go. T. Rivera in the chat says, Richie, Zach Wilson did enough to win the game. There were drops. The weather was bad. No running game. And G-Man D was outstanding. Same old Jets mentality. We won. Let's be happy. And Gano has a new name. Gano Leg. That's hilarious. Gano Leg. Yeah, man.
Shout out to that, bro, because ultimately at the end of the day, that's why we won this game.
Yeah.
I mean, if Graham Gano makes those 2 kicks, the Jets lose this game. So, I mean, while there's, I guess some things to be positive about from a Jets perspective, ultimately, I think the Giants lost this one more than we won because especially, adding the penalties in there, utter, disgraceful offensive play. The Giants lost this game more than we won.
Yeah, man. And that's the reality of
the sport. Who cares, baby?
Zach plays good against a 3-man rush, says Golden Robert, another $2 donation. Yeah, I mean,
against a 3-man rush.
The offensive line, I think Dexter Lawrence finished with like 14 pressures. I mean, he's a star for those Giants.
We made Kayvon Thibodeau look like JJ Watt.
Kayvon Thibodeau is breaking out this season. I mean, he's been on a tear all year long.
Kayvon Thibodeau with 3 sacks yesterday, 3 tackles for loss, 9 tackles, 6 solo tackles.
He completely teed off, man. Completely teed off. Nikki says, I rewatched the game and I saw Zach Wilson played well, not his best, but he was not the problem on Sunday. Now, listen, we can get into more Zach Wilson now. We have a slide here for him. We have the stats on screen. So you look at the box score first and foremost. Zach Wilson finished with a 47% completion percentage, 17 of 36, 240 yards, and a touchdown, 78.5 QBR. Also led the Jets with rushing at 25. Also had 2 turnovers, which were 2 lost fumbles. And I rewatched a lot of the game with Zach Wilson too. I watched every single throw that he made, and I really wanted to get a good understanding of what happened. Okay, what was going on? First and foremost, like, he's got to figure out a way to just get better in the rain. Every time there's a rain game, he stinks. It happened last year against the Patriots and the Jaguars. Happened this year against the Patriots. It happened this year against the Giants, and that's no excuse. I know that the rain is a big element, and you look at the other side of the field. I mean, the Giants did not even have a yard through the air because of the rain. They were so afraid of the rain that they had -8 yards. But my overall assessment of Zach is, did he have some bad throws? He missed a 3rd down easy chip shot, right? He took some critical sacks. He was all over the place, right? But you look at the big time throws he made, and then you look at the negatives. And then let's not forget the historic come from behind thing here, right? Ugly win, Zach. I'm not going to praise you for what you did, but the fact that he was able to do what he did in the 24-second period makes me extremely confident and just overall impressed. I mean, this guy's 6 career game-winning drives, and it feels like he has 6 career wins. So it's just really crazy how Zach Wilson continues to show us Jets fans inconsistencies. He's making us want to pull our hair out of our head throughout the game, and then somehow, some way, he pulls it out and starts playing great football when we needed him to play great football the most. I mean, those 2 throws he had on that last drive, that throw to Garrett Wilson over the middle was a dime. And then he breaks off the route. Al Lazard gets the ball over the middle of the field. Zach sprints down the field, somehow clocks it. And then don't forget overtime, 3rd and 10, 0 blitz. Zach Wilson throws it up to Garrett Wilson to get that 1st down. Excellent throw. And then the final play, throws it deep to Malik Taylor to draw the pass interference. Now, you look at this game, this is probably, comparatively speaking to Zach's games throughout this entire season, definitely not his best, right? But at the end of the day, I'm looking at it, 240 yards, low completion percentage. Don't forget, there were a lot of drops and there's a lot of sloppiness. Zach Wilson needs to play better football if we want to go far this year. The entire offense needs to play better football if we want to go far this year. And that starts with the offensive line. It starts with Nathaniel Hackett and the wide receivers as a whole. But I got to be honest with you guys. I am very impressed with what he did to come away with that win in the most improbable way. But there are some criticism that deserves to be had for him, because if the Jets want to take that next step and be a playoff team, he needs to get better as well as the offense.
Oh, Zach, man. I got to be honest with you. I agree with you. I do agree with you, and that might be surprising to a lot of people. But listen, man, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. At the end of the day, Zach Wilson was not supposed to be the guy this year. He got thrown into the fire. And while there's certainly many, many things about this game to criticize yesterday, at the end of the day, we won. And at the end of the day, he performed when it mattered most. He performed in the clutch. He performed with freaking 24 seconds left on the clock. I can't even believe we got the ball back because let's not forget, and now we can get into some criticisms of Zach Wilson. Let's not forget the sack that he took on 4th and 10. It was 4th and 10, Rich. He takes a sack.
He was backpedaling.
He took a sack before that.
Oh my God! You got
You're
to
out
throw
of the
that ball up.
pocket. You're out of the pocket. On 4th and 10, you don't throw it away, but the one before that you do, and you live to see another down. He runs for 17 yards on 3rd down before that. 17 yards. Picks it up with his legs. Has guts. Has balls. Shows it, man.
Yeah, man.
And then the next play negates it by taking a horrible sack when he's 10 yards outside of the pocket already. So for every, it's just frustrating, man, because we won the game yesterday. There was no offense to be excited about. And it seems like for every good thing Zach Wilson does, there's something bad to negate it. And I'm still waiting for that bona fide great performance where we can say this guy has got something. And maybe it was against Kansas City. But then you look at the fumble at the end of that game. You look at a fumble from Zach yesterday, and I know it's dealing with a guy who's literally never played center in the NFL before. But you can't allow that to happen, man. So I understand we won the game yesterday. Zach Wilson turned it on when he needed to most. But once again, this was a disgusting, disgraceful offensive performance. And obviously, yes, no one expected to lose 3 offensive linemen. Nathaniel Hackett's not necessarily doing Zach Wilson any favors with the play design, with the play call. I mean, how many times are we going to throw from an empty set on 3rd and 1?
Jack and I have
Breece Hall. Are you kidding me? That was a disgrace, man. So I think Zach Wilson needs to improve, but people around him gotta do him some favors.
Absolutely. And Jack and I thought of a fun segment that we're going to get into eventually in this pod where we're going to go into our Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and reread all of the live tweets because it's hilarious seeing the emotions. I'm literally screaming on the top of my lungs on Twitter. Why are we passing on 3rd and 1? Why are we running empties on 3rd and 1? That was like my biggest criticism of Hackett. It didn't make sense. The first time, okay. All right. Now the second time, 3rd and 1. Let's see it. And then it's just another empty little out route to Tyler Conklin. And then the last one was actually, a good play call from the standpoint where it worked, but that was the one throw that Zach missed, and that was for Breece Hall in the flat. But at the end of the day, man, Hackett's got to get better. And you just factor in everything with this offensive line. It's just hard to really fathom that they were able to pull this off. And the Jets just got to get freaking healthy, man. I mean, up front, it's just so freaking frustrating. Golden Robert with yet another super chat says Zach did good. 3 passes.
This is for Golden Robert, baby.
This is for Golden Robert, baby. Let's go, baby. JETS. Zach did 3 good 3 passes and pass interference flag. Yeah, it's weird how he just played great with 24 seconds left and then into overtime. So that's great stuff from Zach. And also, if you just look at the numbers, he had 240 yards through the air when the Giants literally had negative. Like, we're talking about negative, okay? That's wild how the Giants put up those types of numbers. So that's impressive on itself. But at the end of the day, man, there's a lot that needs to be fixed. Robert Saleh knows that. He said it into his team in the locker room. And speaking of Zach Wilson, guys, let's hear from the quarterback because he has something interesting to say post-game. And this is the type of stuff that is really interesting to me personally, hearing Zach Wilson speak to the media, just because last year was such a mess and now seeing a different version of Zach right now. And I know like his quote that's going viral, like 24 seconds, no problem. But like if you watched the clip, it's not like he said it with like a cockiness, like, yeah, 24 seconds, no problem. Like he said it so subtly where like he literally believed that. Like the defense got their stop. They kicked it, they missed a field goal, and he looked up and he saw 24 seconds and he knew genuinely like, oh, 24 seconds, we can do that. We've pulled that off before. We practiced it in practice and then went out and executed it. So let's hear from Zach Wilson because I thought it was an interesting quote from him personally.
Seconds left. What's going through your mind there? Do you really think you have a chance? I mean, obviously, can you just take us through that scenario?
Yeah, I mean, we've obviously done it before in the past. getting us a big chunk, that much time left to be able to clock it. It was actually almost the same play too. So, you know, I would just say unbelievable grit and battle by the guys. You know, absolutely no waver in belief there at all, including me. Didn't doubt at all. You know, when I saw our defense got a stop there, I was like, oh, 24 seconds, no problem. You know, we've shown we can do it in 2 minutes all year. So, you know, great fight by those guys. Obviously, we got to find a way to be better offensively, but defense is playing lights out, and we got to be more consistent for those guys.
So that was Zach in his talk, and it's been a consistent trend from Zach. And the last thing I will say is, I like that he's saying we need to be better. The defense is balling their ass off, but I just don't want to hear that anymore from the perspective. Let's see the offense finally play good football.
I mean, it's so good that Zach Wilson has fixed his media mistakes, at least from last year, that bit him in the ass. But how many weeks in a row now are we going to hear the defense is amazing? I have to be better. I have to be better. And yes, at least he's taking that accountability for himself, as he should be, as any quarterback who's in year 3 should be doing. But how many times are we going to hear this, man? Where is, like I said, where is the bona fide great performance where there's no questions to be asked? There's no, you know, scenarios where, well, what is, you know, can Zach Wilson actually do it? I don't know, man.
I honestly think
we're left with more questions than answers about this guy every single week.
Yeah,
dude.
I have a theory that this just might be the Jets season. Like, say we do make it to playoffs, I have a feeling that we might, like, every win from here on out might be this way. Like, it might be giving us heart attacks. It might give us agita. It might make us feel like we're going to rip our head out. And it's Zach Wilson having up and down games, but the defense balling, special teams balling, and just finding out ways to win. And I mean, that's how this Jets team goes far.
Now we have the Chargers coming up, and this is going to be yet another week where we have to ask our defense to ball out and be the reason that we win this game, because you know Justin Herbert is going to throw the ball 40 times and you know, get 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Is this Jets offense going to be able to compete with that? As of right now, the answer is hell freaking no, based on what we saw yesterday. But we'll see, man. We'll see.
And you can argue that, like,
can we get a dry game?
Oh my God, please.
At MetLife Stadium? Can we talk about this loser turf? I mean, people are dropping like flies on both teams, bro. It's so bad. It's so blatantly bad. Richie's looking up the weather in East Rutherford, New Jersey for next weekend.
So next week on Monday, it's 65 and cloudy, and there's rain the next day. So, God, I mean, just stay. Literally, the last thing we need is a rainy day. Okay, a rainy game. I have no optimism. I'm sorry. Like, the offense already struggling, and the rain just doesn't help, and it's no excuse. They have to get better with the elements, but for whatever reason, Zach Wilson and this offense just cannot play in the elements, and it's frustrating, especially when you can't rely on the offensive line to run the ball, because that's what you have to do when there's rain. Run. And
our own stadium is working against us, dude. I mean, I tweeted yesterday, I want to drive to MetLife and rip this turf out myself, because I mean, Al Woods. Can we talk about Al Woods?
Oh,
Al Woods, man. We lost Al Woods. Al Woods is done. Achilles. Another Achilles claimed by the MetLife turf. I thought an Achilles tear was like this ancient injury that didn't happen anymore. And all of a sudden, everybody's tearing their Achilles this year and is going to be out for, like, you know, months and months and months and months and months and months and months. Unless you're Aaron Rodgers, who was throwing pregame yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Can we talk about that? And planning on his back foot.
And looked like he was, you know, he should have had pads on.
All I want for Christmas is Aaron Rodgers to show up on Christmas Eve against Washington Commanders. That's all I want. That's all I want, Santa. That would be
a hell of a Christmas present right there, man.
Literally. All I need from you, Santa Claus, is that right there. Okay. But in all seriousness, Aaron Rodgers doing what he's doing, his development, his rehab, like, I try not to buy in that he might be coming back just to avoid disappointment, but then you see him and it's like,
I know.
It's like, how can you not be excited that there's actually a chance?
No, because we talk about it all the time. Like, you know me, I'm not going to allow myself to believe that Aaron Rodgers is going to make a return this year. I still think it's highly unlikely. My gut tells me it's not going to happen still. But then you see that yesterday. See him looking like he's like ready to go. And obviously he's not doing much out there. He's not jogging. He's not, you know, doing too much, you know, not cutting or anything like that, you know. But even just to see him drop back and plant and throw a football, I mean, unbelievable stuff, man. Unbelievable stuff. It might be I don't know. We might be in for a historic surprise.
We would be. Now, guys, hit that thumbs up button. We're going to drop the call-in link here in just a few minutes. We didn't talk about this side of the ball once, and it's the defense. I mean, we would have lost without the defense, right? So, like, what was your overall thoughts
Unbelievable.
about the defense? Obviously, Tyrod Taylor goes down. Saquon Barkley becomes their entire offense. You can argue the 3 points that the defense gave up was not because of the defense. It was a turnover.
Yeah.
They got a 3 and out. And then the 7 points they gave up was because of one explosive run from Saquon and then boneheaded penalty by Quincy, boneheaded penalty by Jermaine, and then they got a crazy read option. So what was your overall thoughts? We have two sacks from Jermaine Johnson, another sack from Breece Hall. They allowed -8 passing yards. Their defense was looking like the Jets defense that we're expecting. So what was your overall thoughts about their game last night, Jack?
I mean, dude, I don't really have any negative things to say. I mean, the one negative thing I'll say is the self-inflicted wounds, the penalties, but that's on both sides of the ball yesterday. The penalties are inexcusable, and that can't happen. And I'd love to know if Robert Saleh is yelling at these guys behind closed doors. He's made it known that he doesn't like to, publicly embarrass his guys, which I'm kind of over, by the way. I think that's kind of nonsense. I mean, I need to see some accountability on the sidelines because we don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
I mean, the one thing I will say to that is we did see it in Hard Knocks come out. Like, that's a side of Saleh I've never seen.
Yeah,
like,
we did.
When he ripped to shreds the offensive line. So that makes me believe that behind closed doors, because right now there's no cameras for Hard Knocks that's going to show us right now. Like, so
but there are CBS cameras showing the game. I want to see him laying into Quincy Williams after his second personal foul penalty, But we were talking about the defense, yeah?
Yep.
So basically no bad things to say besides the self-inflicted wounds. We're allowed to let up a touchdown. That's, it's bound to happen. It doesn't matter if it's against the Giants or if it's against whomever. We're allowed to let up a touchdown. And like you said, the 3 points was through no fault of their own. They did not allow the Giants to move an inch after they got the ball back after we turned it over. So, that 3 points, whatever. We do have to give a big shout out to Graham Gano missing 2 field goals because that's huge. Ultimately, that's what won us the game. But this defense, bro, continues to prove. I mean, the Jets offense is so abysmal right now. We almost lost to a team that had -9 passing yards.
How is that possible?
-9.
That doesn't make sense.
-9.
Welcome back, DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner, baby.
I'll let that sink in. -9 passing yards allowed from this Jets defense yesterday against this sorry Giant offense. And I don't give a shit if Tommy DeVito is in because ideally they'd want Daniel Jones in, and he's stinking it up even before his neck injuries. Terrible. So, I mean, -9 yards allowed, and this offense almost loses to a team that can't get a positive passing yard. And yes, let's talk about the elephant in the room. They did allow 200-plus rushing yards yesterday, this defense. The Giants have to do something to move the football. The Jets defense ultimately allowed 10 points, So 200 yards on the ground, whatever. They ultimately allowed 10 points. 10 points. -9 passing yards, bro. -9 freaking passing freaking yards. And this offense can't do shit to help out this defense. That is elite. That is playing lights out. Breece Hall with another big-time sack on 3rd down yesterday to force a punt. Jermaine Johnson playing well yesterday. How about Quentin Jefferson, dude? And I know we spoke about him a little last week.
Such an underrated
but
piece.
he's out here making play after play, week after week, bro. And especially now that we lost Al Woods, he's going to take on an even bigger role in this Jets interior defensive line. And I'm excited to see the man feast because that's what he's been doing all year long. He's been feasting.
Dude, unbelievable stuff. And speaking of the unfortunate injury to Al Woods, what this does open up is an opportunity for Tanzel Smart, I think. I think this is his opportunity to be off the practice squad. So what's your expectations for the defensive line without Al Woods? The offense has been banged up with injuries on offensive line, but the defensive line has been healthy all season long. But we've suffered our first injury, which is Al Woods. Also, we have to keep in mind that the trade deadline is tomorrow. Carl Lawson was a healthy scratch. Do you think that the Jets would be smart to move off of Carl Lawson? Apparently, there's not a lot of interest from him across other teams. Where your stance on the defensive line, minus Al Woods, maybe Tanzel Smart, and the depth of this defensive line, how do you think it's going to shape out from here on out?
I mean, after what we saw yesterday, bro, anybody that's on the trade block, Carl Lawson, Dalvin Cook, anybody else potentially, trade him for an O lineman because we need offensive line help first and foremost. I think we are so freaking thin. Who knows what? Do we have any injury update from Coach Saleh as of today? I don't think so yet, right?
No, we haven't heard from him yet. I mean, McGovern has a kneecap. Ugh.
McGovern, I mean, Schweitzer goes down like almost immediately after. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like we still don't know a lot about this mystery Joe Tippmann injury. Like, you know, what are we doing at offensive line from here on out?
We need Tippmann back, man. And luckily, if it was brutal, more of an injury, he would be on IR, which he's not. So I don't know. Hopefully he's back against the Chargers, because if he's not, we're screwed. You feel me? I mean, what are we doing at the offensive line spot without Joe Tippmann next week? We're going to have Xavier Newman and Billy Turner start against the Chargers defensive line with Khalil Mack and those boys.
Absolutely brutal, man. So I'm saying, you know, I mean, I know the question was about this defensive line, but we're talking about Lawson and potential, you know, trade market. If there's interest, move him. If we can move him for an offensive lineman, even better. But we need to get competent offensive linemen in this building, and we need to do it ASAP, because I can't watch Newman snap any more footballs, man. I can't do it. I can't do it to myself.
Junior Rudy with the $2 super chat. With this patchwork O-line, see you next season, AR8.
That's another thing, bro. Do we want Aaron Rodgers to come back and risk re-injury? I mean, I guess if you know, a playoff push is on the line, or if we're in the playoffs, then yes, obviously. But look at how this offensive line has been. You know, they've had their good games. They haven't been all bad, but when they're bad, they're really bad. And, you know, you see Zach Wilson, you know, using his legs to get himself out of trouble sometimes. Rodgers is 40 years old. How would Rodgers have even fared behind this offensive line this year? You think about stuff like that and you wonder, like, oh my gosh, like we really did not prepare. We thought we were good to go with Dwayne Brown. And you know what? I thought too, man. I thought this offensive line on paper going into the season with all these guys healthy was going to be good. But apparently not good enough.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We're not healthy. What you said, when healthy.
No, I know.
We're not. Like, you're talking about, I think this is like, if anybody's going to blame Joe Douglas for this offensive line issue right now, I will press you back on that, just because, like, you cannot prepare for these injuries. Like, what we're suffering here is just, you can't describe it. You're talking about your all-pro potential in Elijah Vera Tucker going down for the season, Dwayne Brown being down, and then Joe Tippmann, you're promising rookie, he's down. And then you plug in Connor McGovern. Connor McGovern, starting center, always healthy, reliable. He's down. Okay, Wes Schweitzer, he's down. You can't prepare for that as a GM. You can't prepare for it. You can't expect this offensive line to be 10 deep like the defensive line. It's unrealistic. So it's just frustrating that they have to deal with this mess every single season on the offensive line, guys. It really, really frustrates me. And like, I really don't think that it's someone, like, there's no one to point fingers at. If there's anything to point fingers at, it's the athletic training staff or something. Like, why? Like, if they were healthy, if we had AVT and Joe Tippmann and McGovern and Tomlinson and Becton as our starting five for the whole season, I really genuinely believe, because don't forget that offensive line was trending upward every single time they were playing together, that we'd be looking at as a top 10, top 15 offensive line, especially in the run game. And it's just, you know, it's the what if game, but the injuries suffered are unbelievable. But at the end of the day, this is football. It's a violent sport. And there's no excuses. You got to be able to have that next minute mentality. And that's what they showed. I mean, I got to give Newman a lot of credit, and Billy Turner. I don't know if Billy Turner, I think he does have guard experience, but like the fact that they were able to plug in there and play, not excellent, but just able to survive, was really impressive to me. It really was.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we did. We survived.
That's what I'm saying.
We certainly didn't do anything on offense.
They weren't moving people.
We didn't move the ball. We didn't score points. So I guess, you know, we kept our quarterback on his feet for the most part, but I don't know, man. We you know, the offense is still, it's a rare thing, I think, to have such a good defense and such a bad offense. Like, that's a hard thing to do, and leave it to the New York Jets to find creative ways to torture us.
That's all we know.
And show us greatness, literally greatness from one side of the ball.
And special teams,
depending on the week. And then the other side of the ball, the side responsible for scoring points to win us football games, is so bad.
And you know what's
so
crazy?
pathetic.
It's
hard
conversation.
To do, but the Jets have done it.
And the same thing about the offense is the crazy part is we're not asking this offense to be top 5.
No.
We're asking them to be literally top 20. And we're winning
Dude,
every game.
You took the words right out of my
We're
mouth.
winning every game if this offense is top 20.
If we were the 20th ranked offense in football, we're beating everybody. I don't care. We're beating everybody. That's how good this defense is.
And you know who I have to give credit to, man? I really have to tip my cap to Wink Martindale. He is an absolute mastermind of a defensive coordinator. And he had so many different defensive looks. He had pressures coming out from every single direction. CJ Mosley was under Wink Martindale in Baltimore, and he was raving about him. He probably had a lot of things to say. And this is a guy who, listen, going into this game, we all said like the Giants defensively are like becoming an actual unit, but offensively they stink. And that's exactly what we saw. The Giants stunk on offense and their defense. So like the Jets and the Giants are kind of in a similar boat right here, but the Jets were able to survive. And I think that, you know, the defenses the Jets have went up against this season has just been really tough. And the reality is this Jets offense cannot be a middle of the pack offense against elite defenses. So the question is, when they go up against a subpar defense, which, you know, the Chargers defense, they're star-studded, but they're always injured, and they're kind of just like up in the air. So we'll see what happens Monday Night Football, and then the Raiders as well. I'm hopeful that we can finally see some type of offense clicking, but I just got to tip my cap to Wink Martindale, right? Me and Jack made some jokes before the season, like, who's on the Giants defense? Like, no, we didn't know anybody on the defense because we were like, you know, trolling them and making jokes. But they got studs on there. Jason Pinnock back there at safety. Deontay Banks is a promising rookie. Their two linebackers are pretty damn studs. Ocurie, whatever his name is. And then Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, Kayvon Thibodeau, Isaiah Simmons. Like, their defense is pretty good. And I got to give them the credit because I don't know. I don't really have a lot of respect for the Giants just because, you know, I hate them, but I'm impressed. I was impressed with their defense, and I expected their defense to play hard.
I agree, and I won't even say any more about that, but you know who I will say some things about? Brian Daboll. Is he a bum? Is this guy a bum?
Coach of the year.
I mean, is this guy a bum? That's the question I have, because, yes, coach of the year. The Giants won a playoff game last year, made a divisional round playoff appearance, got smoked, but whatever. They made it to the second round of the playoff, folks. An amazing achievement for the New York Giants, who statistically over the past couple of years have managed to be worse than the New York Jets.
Yeah.
And Brian Daboll looked like a loser yesterday. And I have my gripes with Robert Saleh. That's for sure. That's well known. But Brian Daboll looked like he does not deserve to be an NFL head coach.
I do have a question to you about Robert Saleh that I'm curious to get your thoughts of, but we're going to save that because we're going to hear a quick word, guys. We're going to take a quick break. And then we will be right back. Going to take all of your calls. See you guys in a few minutes. Thought to yourself, why the heck is my phone bill so darn high? Well, let me tell you about Mint Mobile, who I'm partnering with for today's video. You might already know Mint Mobile if you've seen those funny advertisements from Ryan Reynolds, who is also an owner, but let me quickly tell you how awesome their service actually is. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for as low as $15 a month, and you don't have to sacrifice any coverage, speed, or data. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network. They keep costs low because they sell directly to you online. They cut out the retail stores and salespeople. Why should you pay more than you have to for access for the same network? All Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text plus lightning fast 5G and free mobile hotspot. Mint also offers a modern family plan that lets you set up a super affordable family plan with as little as 2 lines. My personal experience with Mint Mobile has been really awesome. Ever since I transitioned, I've noticed no difference of connecting to Mint's network compared to all the other networks out there. I can still watch my favorite YouTube videos. I can still listen to my favorite podcasts, play video games on my phone. The network of Mint has been fantastic. Switching to Mint is super easy. Thanks to their digital eSIM cards, you can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your own home. If your phone isn't eSIM compatible, Mint will ship you a new SIM card for free. And now, as a special limited time offer, you can get their unlimited plan, which is normally only $30 a month, for just $15 a month. That's 50% savings off their already super low price. It only takes 15 minutes to pay as low as $15 a month for your phone plan. It really is that simple. Use my link down below in the description. I'm super excited to be partnered up with Mint Mobile in today's video. And if you already made the switch, let me know down below in the comments. I do have a question for you, Jack, because Giants fans, and I wasn't able to really tune into the broadcast, but apparently some Giants fans are fed up with Robert Saleh. And the reason for that is, you know how he kind of always mentions the word violence, and he's like, he preaches technique, violence, and all these different things. And we've seen the Jets have their unnecessary roughness penalties and stuff. And Robert Saleh is a defensive minded guy. He's known to send the pressure and hit the quarterback and just make life miserable. He mentioned the Jalen Hurts. We're gonna give him 11 kisses, and it feels like some Giants fans are kind of like, fed up. And like Robert Saleh was, dapping up his players after those penalties and like, condoning those types of things. So what's your thoughts about Robert Saleh, maybe, some outside perspectives looking at him as too violent and preaching these types of penalties? And after what we saw yesterday, do you think that's something we should be concerned about, of him preaching the word violence and then it translating onto the field? Or do you think that's just the philosophy that makes this Jets defense what it is?
Listen, man, I think, every team gets their share of roughing penalties. I don't think the Jets necessarily have more than others. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe they do. I don't know for sure. I don't know the numbers around the league in terms of who's getting, illegal hits to the head and all that stuff. All I know is that, like Quincy Williams, as an example, used to get a lot more of those type of penalties. And yesterday we saw 2 of them, and that's obviously not very good, but that's not something that's been a trend as of late for Quincy. So I don't think Robert Saleh, as much as you preach violence, he's a defensive guy at heart, man. That's what these guys are supposed to be doing. And I think, obviously the Quincy Williams penalties yesterday could have been prevented. I personally think that penalty against Jermaine Johnson was soft as hell. DeVito had given himself up as a runner for sure. He was over the line of scrimmage when the hit was made, and a whistle hadn't been blown yet. So I don't know, man. That seems kind of soft to me.
Yeah.
And I understand, people have gripes with head coaches that just beat them. I was just talking crap about Brian Daboll. I think he's an overrated head coach. I think Robert Saleh is an overrated head coach, to be honest with you. I said that last week. We got into it on the podcast last week, given our letter grades, when I said Robert Saleh gets a C+. And I think that stays the same after this week, because Robert Saleh is not the defensive coordinator. He's the head coach of this team, and he's responsible for all phases of the ball, not just this defense. But continue to preach violence, man, because one side of the ball has to be violent. The other side of the ball is not doing jack shit.
And it is a violent sport.
It's a violent sport, and at least one side of the ball is violent, because the offense needs to be violent as well, and they are pacifists, it seems.
Jeremy with the $5. Give credit to Will McDonald for causing a disruption to make a no miss. Yes, that is very true. I don't know if you noticed, but that missed field goal, Will McDonald leaped over the line of scrimmage and got his hands up. He didn't touch the ball, but he literally contested it like it was a 3-point shot in basketball. Like, he with his long ass arms. And we knew that when we drafted him, like, oh, he could jump over cars. Oh, this guy's athletic. Hey, it actually translated.
We saw something yesterday.
Hey, so Will McDonald, you do get a shout out, because that was pretty impressive. He leaped over the line of scrimmage and contested the field goal, which resulted in the miss. And again, if they don't miss that, we probably don't even win the game. So, Jeremy, appreciate the $5 super chat, my man.
Appreciate that, man.
And guys, hit that thumbs up button. I mean, come on, it's Victory Monday. The Jets won 3 straight. I want hype in the chat right now. We only have 67 likes. Guys, we need to get to 100 likes right now. Hit the like button right now for your boys. We're about to take the first caller of the show in just a few minutes. We got one super chat to get through. Shane with the $5. I appreciate that. That solid violent stuff is stupid. The Jets aren't even highly penalized team. Yesterday was abnormal in terms of penalties for the Jets. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard in the broadcast they said the Jets were like 3rd in the league in fewest penalty yards this season, heading into the game. And obviously that's going to change after that day of penalties. But I think that narrative is wrong. And I think it's just, some people, they try to point fingers and say, oh, Saleh preaches violence and all these things and targeting. Right. Give me a break. I mean, I love it, baby. Give me a coach that is riling up his boys and in the trenches, because that's what it all comes down to, is trench warfare. And the trenches, as we know, is a violent area of football.
Unless some sort of Sean Payton-like controversy comes out about Robert Saleh, like he's, paying these guys extra money for these hits, I'm not looking too far into that, man. And obviously that's not happening. Obviously I'm kidding there. I just like to throw shots at Sean Payton whenever I'm given the opportunity to, because he's a bum.
I don't know how they beat the Chiefs yesterday,
but Sean Payton's still a bum, dude.
Yes, he is. 100%. All right, guys, let's get into the callers. I'm excited to hear from Jets Nation, baby, because Jets fans, we all deserve to celebrate this fine day. So let's get the first caller, who is going to be Poppy, is in the house. Are you ready to be in here, Poppy? Let's go. Poppy, you are live.
Can you hear me, guys?
What up, man?
What's up, dude?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
All right. So
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
yeah, I can hear you. So so I would blame our offensive line. That is what lost us any credibility from yesterday. We need to sign Ben Jones immediately. He needs to be signed today. And then we need to try to get our first round pick from the Packers for next year to get Devontae Adams. He sounds like he wants to be with Aaron Rodgers. I just saw a tweet that said, "Oh, I want to be with Aaron Rodgers." If we give that first round pick to the Raiders, I guarantee you our season will be different.
Well, Poppy, we appreciate the support, appreciate the call. First of all, Ben Jones, yes. Sign him off the street. The offenses needs help. We need reinforcements.
God.
And when it comes to Devontae Adams, I'll say this. Do not expect him to get traded to the Jets before the deadline, but that is a very big possibility in the offseason. And that first-round pick you mentioned, Poppy, would be involved in that trade in the offseason. Again, don't really expect it happening today or tomorrow before the deadline. But the Devontae Adams situation, I can definitely see the Jets be aggressive to bring him in for 2024 next season.
It's becoming a problem, man. I mean, it was a big trend on Twitter yesterday. Nobody can get separation besides Garrett Wilson.
Yeah,
I mean, Lazard makes some good catches when it matters.
Yeah, some drops.
Maybe I don't think we realize how much we're missing Corey Davis potentially.
100%.
Who is a safety blanket on third and 10, which we
missing
went
Corey
0 and
Davis.
11 on like third down conversions yesterday, which was pathetic. So I mean, maybe it's a problem. Maybe we need to go out there and get receiver talent, but I think offensive line obviously comes first and foremost. But yeah, man.
It's true. We need a receiver. And the question is, after the Broncos winning, you can ask, okay, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, are they up for grabs? Hunter Renfrow, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Like, could the Jets actually somehow go out there and make a move for a wide receiver? Because I would love that. I mean, you look at the team, man, there's nobody winning their one-on-ones. Like, Lazard is not someone that's getting open one-on-one. That's not his style. That's okay. He's a red zone guy, possession receiver, big body threat. And then, you got Garrett Wilson, who was on press man coverage all day long and still got his 7 catches for 100 yards. And then Gibson's more of that, slot guy, gadget type of player in the slot. So we need another player that can win their one-on-ones consistently like Garrett Wilson. And, I really think that Devontae Adams is a possibility, but I don't think it's a possibility right now. I think that's something in the offseason.
Absolutely. And Mikasa, go scratch, man. You depressed me too. We almost lost to a team that got -9 passing yards yesterday.
Yeah, no disrespect,
so
my man. Later for you.
Join the freaking click the call-in link, Mikasa. I bet you won't. Click the call-in link. Come talk, bum.
All right, let's get into the next caller. The legend Charles is in the house. Victory Monday, Charles.
What up, Charles?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good, man.
Great. It's
How you
Victory
doing?
Monday. We blew out the Giants.
No, we didn't. We beat them by 3 freaking points. That was probably one of the ugliest football games I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely, bro.
Giants couldn't pass the ball for shit. Jets couldn't run the ball for shit. I mean, what else can you say?
Yeah, bro.
True.
I mean, it was probably the ugliest game maybe ever that we've ever seen.
Ugliest win, you can say. I mean, give me an uglier win in Jets history.
Yeah, I mean,
In my life, at
definitely
least.
ugliest win because we've had uglier losses. That's for sure. That's for sure. But I mean, in terms of a win, man, we were begging the Giants to win that one. But how you feeling, Charles? How you feeling moving forward? We got the Chargers next week. We got the Raiders.
Well, Justin Herbert's one of my favorite players in this league. He had a great game last night versus the Bears. Yes, I know the Bears are not a very good team, but to see Justin Herbert be back to his usual self put a huge smile on my face because he's been banged up lately. I mean, I think he hurt his middle finger on his right or left hand. But, this is going to be a huge test for the Jet defense because, as good as they've been, they're not exactly perfect. They're one of the worst against the run. They're getting better pressuring the quarterback. I mean, Jermaine Johnson's amazing. He had 2 sacks yesterday.
2 sacks. And that penalty that needs to get fixed, and he tweeted out first. He said that won't happen again, and better not. That's for sure.
Bryce Huff is good. I mean,
Jermaine,
J.J. Watt's a huge fan of his.
Yeah,
man.
J.J. Watt's a big fan of him and Bryce Huff.
Yeah. Bryce Huff is J.J. Watt's guy, man. And Bryce Huff had another big-time sack on a third down
The easiest
yesterday.
bet of my life. There was over 0.25 sacks for Bryce Huff, so he just needed a half a sack. It was plus money. I'm like, put
Kidding me?
$50 on this. It's easy. He got in the
Kidding
first
me?
quarter. I was like, cha-ching, Charles. Cha-ching.
But I was very impressed with Zach Wilson, how he tied the game up at the end of regulation. I mean, 24 seconds left, 2 plays, 58 yards.
That's crazy. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it, Charles. I
Well,
mean, I
guess
don't know how he
lost
did
the
it,
last
Charles.
time in Denver, where remember we could have gotten points at the end of half of that game, and fortunately didn't come up and bite us in the ass. But I remember looking at some of these comments on the Jets YouTube channel. People have argued that we may have Hall of Fame caliber players on our kicker and as our punter. Thomas Morstead's had a great career as a punter, and Greg Zuerlein has had a very good, borderline great career as a kicker.
Pro Bowlers. Come on now. They're Hall of Famers. And I think they deserve all the credit in the world. They were literally, you can say, 2 MVPs for this game. So, Charles, appreciate always seeing you. It's great to celebrate another Victory Monday with you, my friend, and enjoy the rest of your day. Let's go, Charles. Appreciate you, bro.
3rd Victory Monday in a row for the Jets Media Podcast, man.
It's beautiful. I mean, last week there was no Victory Monday, even though it felt like one because it was a win on the bye
It
week.
felt like one.
But
So I guess 4 Victory Mondays in a row for the Jets Media Podcast.
And just to give a big shout out to the rest of the NFL, unfortunately in the division, didn't really help us out. The Bills win and the Dolphins win.
Yep.
But from the wild card perspective, the only game that was not in our favor, the Bengals beating the 49ers, but the Browns lost. The Steelers lost. And if you look at the AFC playoff picture, Jack, guess where the Jets are? They are in 8th place.
Right there
Behind the 7th seed, which, by the way, they're all tied. The 6th, 7th, 8th seed, I think, and 9th are all with the same record of 4-3. The Jets got to keep taking care of business and figure out a way to just make the damn postseason by any stretch of the imagination. And all of the Bengals wins, by the way, are against NFC teams. So they have not versed any AFC opponents. I mean, they have versed them, but they're 0-3 within AFC, and that's really good for the
it's huge.
For the playoff picture in terms of tiebreakers. So these next 2 games for the Jets, both AFC opponents. The Chargers are a team that are now 3-4. You know, they can get hot and try to fight for a wild card spot. The Raiders are kind of out of it, but that's another AFC team. So the Jets got to win these next 2 games, or at least split the next 2 games if they want to make the playoffs, which is going to be really important.
Oh, they got to win these next 2 games, bro.
The Chargers game is really...
It's going to be a challenge against the Chargers, but if we don't absolutely smoke the freaking Raiders...
you know what I'm really excited for, that I feel like the first time that we can finally say this, and we've said it multiple times, but like, I'm so happy we have a primetime Monday Night Football game at home. Like, I feel like that game being home gives me a lot more confidence in the chances to win the game. Like, if we were going to LA, I wouldn't feel as confident just because of how good the Jets defense has been at home. I feel like that's a big advantage. The crowd has been off the charts this season, and you know, I don't expect any Chargers fans to be traveling to MetLife Stadium. I mean, let's be honest. So it's going to be a jam-packed crowd. And I think, you know, and we talked about it, the Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Hurts game that we always talk about, the defense getting to them, all happen on like primetime games at MetLife Stadium. So that's another primetime game at MetLife Stadium going up against a top quarterback in Justin Herbert. And, you know, I think we all know that the elephant in the room is going to be if the offense can figure themselves out, because we know that the Jets defense is going to do their thing. They're not going to shut down the Chargers, but they're going to limit them enough to keep them in the game. And we got all week to talk about them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Tune into that Thursday podcast for the Jets Chargers preview, baby.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Next caller, we got Lissell. What's good, Lissell?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, guys.
How you doing, man? Good, bro. How about yourself?
I'm doing well.
Good,
I'm
man.
doing great. So I'm glad that we fucking won that game. I would have been raging if we lost that game.
Man.
Oh my God. Yeah, we'd be singing a different tune right now.
My dad and I was watching the game with my dad, Lissell, and my dad and I looked at each other with 2 minutes left or whatever it was. And we're like, all right, the game's over, right? We can acknowledge that the game is over and just save ourselves some stress and maybe, add some years back onto our lives. And not to be, man. The Jets somehow found a way, dude. They found a freaking way.
Yeah, that's why I said on your stream, I send on the chat, like, you know what? They win, so I'm happy. I'm good. Like, we usually lose those games anyway. So
it doesn't matter how, it matters how many, baby.
Yeah, it matters just how many wins, and so freaking mad that Patriot couldn't get it done against the Miami Dolphins. It would have been just so funny. I was seeing 2 or 4 interceptions. I was like,
oh yeah,
let's go, they're doing something. And then then their defense decided like, you know, let's just let Tyreek Hill just go balls to the walls against us after that.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game, and I'm excited for the roundtable tonight. Lissell, appreciate the call as always, my friend. Always a pleasure. And listen, man, Dolphins, Patriots. It was going to be hard to even imagine the Patriots winning that game. I mean, they already upset the Bills once. It was going to be hard. I mean, the Bucks almost had a chance to beat the Bills. If we're going back to Thursday night, bro, that Hail Mary. Come on, Godwin, turn around, right there.
Man.
But the reality is, the Jets, the way I look at it, they just got to take care of their own business. I know that we have to look around the league now and we'll focus on this, the rooting guide this, rooting guide that. But at the end of the day, the rooting guide does not matter if the Jets don't take care of their own business. And they did just that yesterday. Josh says, yo, what's up, Richie and Jack? Not going to be able to call in. I'm on a plane, but we got that W. Yes, sir. Josh, appreciate you, bro. Have a safe flight wherever you're headed, my friend, and happy Victory Monday.
Yeah, man. Enjoy, baby.
We appreciate that. All right, let's get to the next caller. We got Rami. What's good, dude?
What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
How you doing, man?
Congrats on your win. Yeah.
Thank you,
I
my
think
friend.
Jack knows me. I came onto this call a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Wearing
While you were on break, Rich.
Yeah.
You were sacred. I wanted to say there are a couple highlights, couple lowlights. First of all, Breece Hall is a monster.
He is
crazy.
How did we not even bring him up?
No, that's what I know. You guys haven't. But he is a monster. That run was crazy. Also, we do need to give a little bit of respect to Zach Wilson because he's only been trending up these past couple weeks. No interceptions in the past 2 games, I believe. And his yards are just going up and up. He's starting to throw touchdowns. And that last drive was outrageous. I was on my way back from the stadium watching it on my phone, and I was like, there's no way Zach Wilson's going to go 50 yards down the field.
Legacy drive.
I couldn't believe it, but it's all right. It was good. Defense looked solid as usual. You guys just have that D-line, man. They need to tighten up on the run. But corners, disgusting corners. God, they're so good.
Negative 8 yards.
Yeah, I know.
Through the air. I don't know how it's possible.
Is unheard of. Yeah. The Giants' top receiver is Matt Breida with 1 reception for 4 yards, which is, I mean, I haven't even seen that in I don't know how long. But it was a good game by the Jets. Need to clean up a little bit. O-line definitely to step up because Zach Wilson is running left and right on that field. He's looking like an old, I don't even know, like Lamar 2 years ago when he didn't have anyone.
Yeah, man. The offensive line is banged up. I know the Dolphins also have their fair share of injuries up front on the offensive line. For whatever reason, just can't stay healthy in that position. It's so freaking frustrating.
Yeah.
But dude, we appreciate you tuning in to Jets Media and staying tuned with the Jets, even though you support your Dolphins, man. Really means a lot to the channel, bro.
Of course, man. It's because you're such a GOAT, Richie. I met you on the AFC. I was a TD Finstock fan. You know, that's my guy. Love TD. And then I started watching the AFC East Roundtable, and I've just been hooked onto all of y'all ever since, except Dan Mitchell.
Awesome.
Bills fan.
Well, I appreciate that, bro. And I'm excited for tonight's show. It's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'll be there. All right, guys. Have a good rest.
Dude. You too, man.
Take care, brother. Thank you for the call, man.
Thank you for the call. And dude, how did we not bring up Breece Hall? Because he's the only reason why we scored a touchdown. I mean, Breece Hall, so good. So good. Did not have it in the run game, but receiving wise. And last week I said on the bye week, can we start using him like Christian McCaffrey? And we're starting to see that. Get him involved as a weapon. What was your thoughts of that touchdown run, Jack? Because it was a check down that literally had no reason to go 50 yards to the house. You know, at first I thought it was coming back because we saw a flag, but luckily it was on the Giants defense. It just goes to show you that Breece Hall has a chance to take it to the house every single time he touches the football, and his touchdown streak continues. That's 3 straight games with a touchdown.
He just like you said, right? It's kind of trending in your predicted direction. Richie has a prediction that Breece Hall is going to go on some like crazy sort of Christian McCaffrey-esque touchdown streak.
He's not gonna have a game without a touchdown for the rest of the year.
And he's certainly trending in that direction right now. Like Richie said, 3 games in a row with a tutty for Breece.
You give him 20 to 25 touches a game, he's gonna break one free. Like you give him the volume, he's gonna break one free.
And it's a shame that the targets stopped coming because he wasn't doing anything on the ground yesterday. I believe he only got 12 carries anyway, for 17 yards, which freaking stinks. But obviously, you know, nobody expected 3 offensive linemen to get hurt and you know all that nonsense to occur. But you know, the target stopped coming his way. He was so effective in the passing game. And then God, that what was it, a third down or even a fourth down where Breece Hall is wide open and Zach just throws the ball at his feet.
Yeah.
You know, that was painful.
And there's another time
Painful.
where Breece dropped the ball. Remember
Yeah,
that
Breece,
one?
exactly. Breece is he's not without blame here. He definitely dropped the ball. But
And it's so hard because you saw his head turn upfield before
Yep.
he caught the ball. So
Yep.
you're so excited.
Yeah.
And he had the linebacker one-on-one.
Yep.
And like you're just like, oh
It's
my
a classic
gosh.
mistake, man. It's a classic mistake of freaking taking your eye off the ball because you're looking past the catch already. But you know, securing the catch is
And he's the whole
is
offense.
paramount.
Him and Garrett
He is,
Wilson.
dude.
I mean, it
I
really
tweeted that yesterday.
Garrett
Breece Hall
Wilson's
is this
the
whole
dog.
offense. Pay him $1 billion.
literally. So shout out to Breece, man. And dude, Zach Wilson 50-yard touchdown pass. I was making a joke on the channel during my live show. I was
And
like,
dude,
did you guys see that 50-yard touchdown pass?
And of
it's
course,
just a little 1 yard.
of course, the
Area
refs
yard.
had to make us hold our breaths by
Oh
throwing
my
a
God.
freaking flag because obviously our first
Wasn't even
reaction is
celebrating.
oh, this is coming back.
Yeah.
And I was
Illegal
sure-
man downfield.
I was confident that this was coming back. Your first thought is, oh, okay, it's a holding, it's coming back, or it's an illegal man downfield, or it's whatever on the Jets. And then when the freaking ref said penalty against the Giants, my dad and I started giggling like little girls, dude. It was freaking awesome.
I honestly felt like we won the game in that moment just because
I
of
did
how
too, because
good
our defense is that good.
all we need is a lead.
All we needed was
7-3
the
win
lead.
is what I thought.
All we needed was the lead. And then once it was 10-7 for what felt like a freaking eternity,
The
I
entire
was like,
second half,
well,
'cause
now
I
we
was-
lost again because I mean, punt, fumble, punt. It was, I mean, how many times did they show that one graphic? I know you said you weren't watching much of the broadcast, or at least not listening to much of the broadcast. Obviously, you're watching the broadcast.
I'll be watching it all after this pod. I'm curious.
But I mean, they showed that graphic like, 8 or 10 different freaking times. It felt like,
dude, I'm pretty sure the Jets and the Giants were 0 for whatever on third down conversions. The first third down conversion the Giants had was late in the fourth. The first third down conversion the Jets had was late in the fourth. Just an overall defensive, just dominance on both parties, right? It's just that's what it comes down to. We gave our guy Breece Hall some credit. Now it's time to give our guy Garrett Wilson some credit. The man, 7 catches, 100 yards, making play after play after play. That catch he had on the left sideline when Daboll challenged it, I mean, that was a phenomenal catch on the sideline. Somehow got both feet in bounds. And then, on 3rd and 10 in overtime, Zach Wilson throws it up when there's a 0 blitz and he makes a play and one. It's pass interference, holding on Deontay Banks, still catches it, gets up, lowers his shoulder, gets the first down. He was the guy to get that catch to force overtime as well. Man, it's good to see Garrett Wilson really finding his stride and putting up the numbers that we expect. Even in an offensive game where you're thinking like, it was such a mess, he put up numbers. 7 catches for 100 yards is a pretty darn good game in a rainy, wet, offensive bad game.
it's a great game, dude. 7 for 100, baby.
7
for 100.
7 for 100, and Deontay Banks took him to school, baby.
7 for $1.
What
But
happened?
Yeah,
What's going on?
but yeah, we
Deontay
got to
Banks?
Deontay Banks is going to shut Garrett Wilson down.
Right. And another shout out to Sauce Gardner. We were really impressed with that play he had on Darren Waller.
That one play, dude. I mean, he got beat by the route. It was against Darren Waller. It was on a
crossing route.
3rd and 10, I believe, right? Or 3rd and long.
Yeah.
Sauce gets beat. You see him cooking, pumping those arms.
His closing speed.
Using that length, using those long strides, and making a freaking play on Darren Waller, who's, a big physical dude. That's his whole MO.
It's cool to see that the Jets scheme and the coaching staff lined him up one-on-one with Waller because he's like the only
He's their only threat in terms of a receiver.
Passing. Yeah, 100%.
Obviously, Saquon is their best player on offense, and he did his job yesterday.
Did you see? This made me laugh so hard. Did you see the tweet that the beat reporters of the Jets just saw Saquon Barkley walking out of MetLife with his father, who was decked out in Jets gear?
No way.
Because Saquon grew up a Jets fan. His dad's a Jets fan, and his dad showed up to the Jets-Giants game representing Jets gear.
No way.
That is
dude.
sick. Okay, I've seen enough.
Saquon's dad.
Dalvin Cook later, Saquon Barkley next year, Breece Hall, Saquon 1-2 punch. Come on, who says no?
Oh man,
I read that and thought it was absolutely hilarious.
oh my gosh,
Oh my gosh.
dude, that's actually my my neighbor who I grew up hanging out with all the time lives right across the street from me. My boy Johnny. John, if you're listening, shout out to you, bud. But his dad's a diehard Giants fan, and Johnny's a diehard Jets fan. Like, I just wonder how that happens, like over the years. It's just funny, man. It's funny.
Well, I'm curious. Anybody in the chat, let us know. Obviously, there's, house divided in families, whether you have a cousin, whether you have your own brother, whether it's your mom, whoever it is. Bet you there's Giants fans in your family. One of the biggest Giants fans I know is my Uncle Vinny. And he calls my mom, and my mom is obviously a Jets fan. And I heard them on the phone, and hearing my uncle just ripping apart, just so pissed off, like, oh, this, oh, that, oh, and I'm just sitting back, like, listening. I'm like, oh, I don't even know if I want to get on the phone with my uncle right now after that. Like, I just don't know if how that phone call will go, talking to a passionate Giants fan like my uncle. Because listen, you're a Giants fan watching that game. It's like, how the heck did you lose? Like, let's all put our heads real quick in the Giants fan perspective.
I mean, the
Collapse.
Giants are that bad.
Dude, they were celebrating.
They let us win this game. The Giants are truly that bad that they let us win this
Sean
game.
Marash, bum.
And you know what? Obviously, all you guys out there, all you Dolphins fans that are in the chat, any Giants fans, any non-Jets fans that are in the chat, I already know what you guys are about to say. Yeah, but you guys only won by 3. Whatever. I understand that. But the Giants are really that bad that they allowed that to happen.
Like, their overtime first possession.
How is nobody talking about that? They run the same play. It's like they were like, nah, we don't want to win. Bums. I don't give a shit if you're afraid that your third string quarterback is going to throw an interception. You can't run the same exact play that gains 0 yards twice in a row. Twice in a row, and then you punt. And, dude, the second we went into overtime, I knew we were winning this game. Yeah,
me too.
I knew we were winning this game in overtime because I knew for sure that our defense was not going to let them gain a freaking inch. And I was right. And for some reason, I knew that we were going to get into Greg the leg range. As soon as that penalty happened, I'm like, don't even run a play. We're at the 10-yard line. Kick it right from here, which is exactly what they did, and end the freaking game. No risk of a fumbled snap, nothing like that. Kick it, win the game.
100%.
And they did. And boy, oh boy, if you're a Giants fan, I mean, there are some Jets fans out there who are sick today, wondering, like, where do we go from here? Because we have to play the Chargers next week, and we have to play the Bills and the Miami Dolphins, and the AFC East is very competitive. Like Richie said, there's all the wild card teams are tied with the same record, so all these games coming up matter more than ever. But I can't imagine how Giants fans must feel yesterday, because their season is officially over.
Done.
Our season has more life than ever.
We're
baby.
in the playoff.
We're
4-3,
dude.
We're
freaking
right
4-3. We have a winning record somehow, some way, without
3 in
Aaron
a row.
Rodgers. I understand the Giants are without Daniel Jones, but he wasn't exactly doing great things before he got hurt anyway. So, I mean, if you're a Giants fan, man, I don't, obviously, it's hilarious, but I almost feel bad if you're a Giants fan today, bro, because, man, that is a gut punch.
Guys, please hit that like button. We don't even have 100 likes yet. I mean, come on now. 86 likes with 182 people watching. We deserve to hit at least 100 likes if you're pumped up and celebrating Victory Monday. Because, guys, Victory Monday is Victory Monday. Doesn't matter how we got here. We got here, okay? Let's go.
Monday.
Like, that's what it comes down to. Like, when it's all said and done and we're looking back on this season, no matter what happens, right? That win means so much. And Jack, we always talk about how you compare the sport of football to sports like baseball, basketball, and hockey, not just from the sport, how they play on the field, but the whole scheduling and how the amount of games. Like, getting a win means so much. Like, you can't, just bounce back after losing like you can in basketball or baseball. You can lose 2 or 3 games and still salvage the season, go on a little run. But for football, a win means so much, especially for the Jets, where it feels like it's barely like they don't win a lot, right, in our lifetime. So a win is so big, and you got to celebrate it however they did it, even if it's in miracle fashion.
And you know what? Not the last time, but I believe in 2015 when we played the Giants.
Overtime.
We won by 3 points in overtime, and it was not as ugly of a game, and the score was 23-20, not 13-10. So there was some more points scored all around, but I guess a 3-point win in overtime is something that we've seen against the Giants in the past.
That's 12 years of bragging rights that now we can claim. That's 3 straight wins against the Giants. We
kind of own the Giants.
Let's
go. I love that.
Ooh, 99-yard Victor Cruz.
Like for most of my life, we've owned the Giants.
That feels great.
great.
And it's like,
oh, I love that.
and that rivalry really is deep, right? When you think about it,
It is.
you go to that 99-yard touchdown to Victor Cruz, right? That was kind of like the first game I remember as the Jets-Giants rivalry. And then that overtime win with Brandon Marshall getting that crazy touchdown. And then Jamal Adams stripping us, Daniel Jones clean. I mean, that game was crazy. The Jets were like 1-7. The Giants were 2-8. Like they both stunk, and they won 34-27, I believe. And then this game, man, you know, like this game is going to be looked back on for years and years and years and years, just in the state and in the city of New York City.
Spiked the ball with 1 second left in regulation.
I am so impressed.
To go into overtime.
Guys,
how the hell did that happen?
I was convinced.
How did that happen?
When I saw Lazard go down and with 9 seconds, and you guys who watch my reaction, I posted it. You guys hear me.
I heard you, bro.
I literally like, it's
Game's
over.
over. Game's over. I
Game's over.
was doing the same thing in my crib.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, 5. I'm like, oh my God, 4, 3, they have a fucking chance. And if you listen to Zach's press conference, I thought this was interesting. He said he ran up, and you know, the question to Zach was like, yeah, you probably don't see the clock, so you have like a mental clock. He's like, no, I'm actually sprinting down the field looking at the clock, and I saw that there was 4 seconds left. And when I looked up and there was 4 seconds, I actually knew we were going to get it off. But you guys probably were a little stressed out, a little more tight. But like when he saw that 4 seconds, he knew it was going to be good. And then he got it off with 1 second.
Cool, calm, and collected, man. That is Zach Wilson's MO.
But like, how? Like, it's kind of wild how he's becoming this calm, cool, collected when the pressure's at its max. Like second quarter, 4 minutes left in the game. There's no pressure. So he's like, woohoo, I'm going to miss this. What? But like when the pressure's maximum, like literally you can't make this mistake. It's ridiculous. You know who else I have to give a shout out to? The Jets coaching staff, because they practiced that after the debacle against the Denver Broncos. You know that they did, right? They practice it. And Smash, who is their situational coordinator, their situational coach, he's the one that puts these Jets players through the situation drills. Like, okay, 2-minute drill, they got to clock it. You need a field goal. And then they run through it, right? They figure out the rules, and they obviously went through those plays multiple times, and they executed it. And if they did not execute it, the game there's no win for the Jets. So we got to give credit to the coaching staff. That debacle against the Broncos helped them fix their mistake, and they executed in practice, and it translated to the football field. And they deserve their credit, because that's coaching.
Yeah, man.
That's coaching. And it's just like, that's not easy to do, to be able to clock the ball like that with 1 second left. It's not easy to do.
Agreed, man.
The NY Bully with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. We appreciate you big time. Happy Victory Monday, fellas. Do you all think we realistically make a trade to help/add depth before the deadline? We need another wide receiver ASAP. Where is La'el Collins too? Yeah, we have to make a trade at this point with the injuries that we saw yesterday, with this Jets team being 4-3, right in the thick of things and making a playoff run 110%. They need to make a trade. I don't know who it's going to be for yet. I don't know what the heck is going to happen on that end. But Joe Douglas, 110%, needs to make a trade, whether that's shipping off Carl Lawson for an offensive lineman, or just shipping off draft picks for an offensive lineman, or bringing another weapon through the receiver room. Yes. Bring me a trade right now. Okay, today or tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Offensive line first and foremost. But I'm hearing, I mean, it'd be weird to grab one and not the other, because obviously we prefer Devontae Adams, but Hunter Renfrow is a name that's, floating around out there. I mean, anybody that can come in here and run some routes and get some separation, bro, because right now it's just Garrett Wilson.
100%.
I mean, everybody out there looked lethargic as hell yesterday. You see Tyler Conklin out there yesterday, just blanketed every single time he was running routes.
Yeah, dude. It was frustrating to watch. Don with the $2. Great play-by-play yesterday. Cheers. Thank you so much, Don. I appreciate that. It was a lot of fun to call that game. Very stressful.
Oh my gosh.
Very stressful.
I can't imagine what you must have been. I mean, I was watching the stream when I could. I
was nauseous.
I FaceTimed you a little bit at halftime, but bro, I mean, I was feeling for you yesterday.
I was actually nauseous throughout the entire game. Physically, nauseous to my stomach. But we freaking survived. All right, guys.
Unbelievable.
Let's get into the next caller here. We appreciate all the callers being patient in the chat. Nate's live now. What's good, Nate?
What up, Nate?
Yo, let's go, baby. Oh man, this was frustrating. I had a headache through the entire game. It was so frustrating.
Absolutely.
I mean, like defensively, offense. I mean, the offense was so lethargic. 2 for 12 for third down. I was like, oh. But I gotta address the elephant in the room right now. And this is this play call. We seen in 24 minutes. What we should have been seeing the entire game. Deep shots at give a guy a shot. And it just makes no sense to me why they do it in the final 24 seconds and even in overtime where they do this. It's just getting ridiculous. And this turf is we're just dropping like flies on the offensive line. It's just like McGovern gone. Schweitzer gone. And it's just like, what can we do? And then we're like, we gotta trade. We gotta trade somebody. We got to. Sorry, Cook. Sorry, Lawson. I'm sending you somewhere. One in Denver, one with the Panthers. I don't care. They got to go.
Absolutely, bro. I mean, I was against trading Dalvin Cook until I saw what this offensive line went through yesterday, and now trade anybody that people are interested in that we don't absolutely need to win games, and we haven't needed Dalvin Cook to win games because this offensive line needs help now.
It's so sad,
I
man.
agree.
Well, Nate, first of all, appreciate the energy that you freaking came in here. This is what we're looking for Victory Monday. We found a way to win. Baby. Let's go, Nate. We appreciate the call as always, brother. Let's go, Jets.
Let's go.
Man.
Let's go.
What I'm thinking about right now is we're happy. Giants fans are miserable. Let's do it.
That is bringing me some joy.
That's why we should be happy, bro. That's why we should be happy.
That's bringing me some joy.
And we're 4-3. Let's go. Jordan's
I'm not
live.
miserable, man. Everybody wants to say I'm miserable. I'm just keeping it a buck with all you.
How you guys doing, Richie and Jack?
It was a miserable game. What's up, Jordan?
I just want to say, big win. We're 4-3. In the past few seasons, the Jets don't win this game 100%. Where we fall to 3-4. We're just in the in the middle pack, and we end up falling out. But here we are. We're 4-3. We were on our third center. It was a rainy day. It was against a top. I have to say a top 15, borderline top 10 defense. The Giants, I got to give them some respect on the defense.
Yeah, their defense is playing lights out.
But I just want to say, the Jets have two types of offenses: the normal Jet inept offense and then the Patriot Jet inept offense. The way we played yesterday was how we played against the Patriots. Okay,
my God,
that was a classic Jet Patriot offensive game. And it was hard to watch, but we won. And I want to stay afloat. I want to. Maybe we could make the playoffs with Zach Wilson. I think we could make the playoffs with Zach Wilson, of course. But I think if we want to win the Super Bowl, we need the big man to come back. So I saw how he was thrown before the game yesterday. I mean, I don't know if you guys were seeing that. Who the heck is throwing like that 2 months after an Achilles injury?
Oh, my God.
I have never seen that in my life.
He's not a human.
He's not a human. I mean, did you see what he was doing? That was 2 months
dropbacks
without a foot. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I really believe he's going to come back. And I think we're going to make a run here. I really do. Jet up, baby.
Go.
Oh,
Jordan,
man.
Appreciate the call, dude. Appreciate
Jordan
the call.
putting a big hypothetical out there into the world, bro.
And like we said when we talked
Aaron
about
Rodgers is going to come back and the Jets are going to make a run.
Which is so crazy.
Oh, man.
Which is so crazy because it's actually a possibility.
No, it really is.
And it's like, I'm not going to sit here and put my money on it's going to happen. But let's be honest here. I mean, we're seeing Aaron Rodgers out there. It's like, what the actual heck? Like, this would be the craziest NFL story ever if Rodgers comes back and the Jets do somehow go on a run with Aaron Rodgers. And then Zach goes to the bench again. And then hopefully by then, Zach does show even more improvements. And then we feel a little bit more confident about him for the future. Like, that just is one of those hypotheticals that's becoming more realistic week by week. And Rodgers set a goal to come back this season, and we're seeing the strides. And let's see if it happens. Rodgers, let's go, baby.
Shout out to freaking Timmy Boyle losing us the coin toss in overtime. Love it. I don't know why that just popped into my head.
Shout out to Timmy Boyle. Let's fucking go. Jets Unleashed.
What up, baby?
What up, man? How you guys doing?
What do you mean? How we doing? It's Victory Monday. You know what we're doing.
Yeah, man. Sloppy game, crazy game, but you know what? We somehow put it out and we got the W, man. But
somehow, some way.
I'm kind of nervous for this Chargers game, man. They can put up points, and if this offense continues to do what it does, we might be in trouble. So hopefully they can figure it out. But
no rain.
I'm gonna get
I'm calling a 30 piece for the offense. With rain,
Oh god,
it's going to be a 17-14 win.
You're calling 30 piece for the offense with no rain.
No rain, baby. We're going to see a Kansas City Chiefs Zach Wilson. That's what we're going to see.
The only problem I have with this offense is that it just like it somehow it bites itself. Either Zach Wilson doesn't make a good pass to open receiver, or when he does make a good pass, people drop it, or and people say like, "Oh, it's the offensive line." No, there was chances where the offensive line actually hold, and he just do bad passes. So he just has to get better with that. Again, he's inconsistent, but man, it's insane how inconsistent he is. He can somehow bring us back from a game and actually get us to tie and win it at the end, dude. It's Zach Wilson's like the most inconsistent quarterback out there, but he just does the impossible, it seems.
He does do the impossible.
So frustrating.
Appreciate
bro.
the call, Jets Unleashed, as always.
Jets Unleashed, we love you, man. You're the best, dude. And
that's what I'm been coming back to. Like he's so inconsistent. He missed on easy throws. He also made some hard throws. And then he did the impossible. Like, he did the impossible. Like, 99.9% chance of the Jets winning with 24 seconds left and no timeouts. And he did it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, what? And let me just get a little crazy here in terms of just optimism. Like, could that be something that can, like, kind of, like, propel him of more confidence? Like, whoa, like, I pulled that off. Like, if I can just really string together 4 quarters of quality quarterback play, like we see the flashes here. So it's just like maybe that could propel his confidence, because that's just not your ordinary like comeback win. That's not your ordinary like a minute and a half left, you got to go down the field and win the game. That's like beyond. That's Aaron Rodgers-esque.
One thing that I will say about Zach Wilson and how he's changed as a player from last year and the year prior to this year, I'm no longer, when he makes a mistake, I'm no longer, which he fumbled yesterday, but he hasn't thrown an interception in a while, it feels like. But when he does make a mistake, I'm not like, oh, okay, he's done for the game. Like, now I do have this weird sort of confidence that he can just say, fuck it, and come back strong on the next drive and not make that same mistake, while we're still waiting for that, awesome game, that awesome, undeniably good performance. Excuse me. I am not afraid of him. I think,
and the Bills game is what you're talking about.
Yes,
that really impressed me with that interception he threw.
I think hopefully the 4 interception games are a thing of the past for Zach Wilson. I have confidence in him, even if he does make that big crucial mistake. I do have confidence in him to go out there and not repeat it.
Yeah, and I think that's a really, it does make so much sense. And that's something that we saw last year where he makes one mistake and he spirals downward. And this year he's kind of putting it behind him. And that game against the Bills week 1, where he was thrown into the fire, not expecting to play, throws that interception in Milano. And it's one of those interceptions where you're like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you don't like, what do you see here? And then he bounces back. And Nathaniel Hackett talked about it on the Jets podcast with Eric Allen. Like, it was in that moment when I was able to see what Zach Wilson looks like when he makes a mistake. And he was very impressed how he handled himself. And then he went on that drive and had 2 critical 3rd down conversions to Lazard and then Garrett Wilson. And he had that touchdown to Garrett Wilson, which helped the Jets go win that game. So like, it's so weird because Zach Wilson's such like he has all these negatives to him, but the positives are so positive. It's like miracle ways. It's like the negatives are so negative, but the positives are so positive. It's like, it's such a convoluted, like inconsistent, just mess that he has. So it's like it balances itself out. Right. And then if without those positives, we'd probably be winless. And that's the reality of it. So
it's inconsistencies, man. And it's not only on Zach Wilson, but we briefly mentioned this, earlier in the stream. It's on the, obviously the players around him, but Nathaniel Hackett's, inconsistencies from the offensive coordinator perspective. Video Matt in the chat here.
Run the ball on 3rd and 1.
Makes a good point. He also says we need more play action. Zach Wilson had an unbelievable fake yesterday.
Oh, dude,
I forget the down and distance on that play.
That fake was wild.
But that was unbelievable, man. Why does that, like, why do we see like little flashes of that? Why is that not consistent?
It was like
Breece Hall, we're a run-first team. Everybody has their eyes on Breece Hall. Why can't we use that to our advantage and include
shots,
the play action in this rotation of play calls?
And I forgot which callers mentioned it but someone did. Where like the shots that Zach took with 24 seconds left, where were those shots all game? Like
They were nowhere to be found.
It feels
bro.
like there was no attempt.
Nowhere to
take
be
shots.
found. Nowhere to be found.
And also
Hackett's game plan or lack thereof sucked ass yesterday.
And that throw to Lazard was a broken down play, and you got to give Lazard credit. It was a corner route, and he broke free after the scramble drill. So, you know, you call more shots, more scramble drills happen, and at the end of the day, you just got to hope for the best.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's get into the next caller. We got James, who's representing Jets Media Day merch. Let's go, baby.
Yo. First off,
look at this guy. Look at this guy.
First off, it's a fucking W. I don't give a shit if my brother-in-law. I told you, bitch. I told you it was gonna happen. With that being said, I don't want to hear Jack. Come on, no negativity today, baby.
Oh, stop it, James. Not you. Not you too, James.
No, come on, bro.
Not you too, James.
Hold on, let me break it down.
Am I not allowed to call it how it is? No, hold on. Am I not allowed to call it how it is? Yes, we won the game. We almost lost to a freaking shitty-ass Giants team that had how many passing yards, James? -9. -9. I don't want to hear it anymore, man. This offense is a joke week in and week out. -9. I'm just trying to keep it a buck, man. I'm not trying to be a hater. I want this Jets team to win just as much as all of us do. But come on, man. How many more times are we going to sit here and praise this defense while the other half of the ball is not doing their job? Flat out, they're not doing their job.
I fucking agree with you 1,000%. But let's do that a little later on in the week. Yeah, I'm not even focused on the negative right now. Focused on is, first off, let's put some context to this whole fucking thing. All right? It was pissing, bro. I stayed till the very end. That's another thing that pissed me off. Everybody was leaving like the fucking plague was entering the stadium. I paid for these motherfucking tickets. I'm staying till the clock hits 0. I don't give a shit. But the rain, the injuries to this line, I've never in my life seen anything like that, ever. Bro, never. The fourth string center, I mean.
Not even a center.
Not even a center. Not even a center. That, Zach did not play well. But when it was time to grab his fucking nuts, he made some big boy throws, bro. He made some big boy plays that we needed him to make in the clutch. And he's been doing that consistently. Yes, he fucking was not good. But there was other factors that added to that. With that being said, I really don't give a shit because a win is a win, right? We're 4-3, on to the Chargers, and we're going to whoop that ass. And that's it. But we got to get better. There's no doubt. Jack, I don't disagree with you, but we have to follow.
No, I know, bro. I know. And you're right, man. You're right. Listen, I'm not on here every day like Richie. I'm only on here 2 days a week, so I got to get it in when I can, brother. But you're right. You're right.
For me, this is so much sweeter because the Giants, and I have Giant fan friends, my brother-in-law, but they talk so much shit. They were talking so much shit yesterday. And I said, yeah, we'll fucking see. We'll see. I said, meet me there. Don't beat me there. And we fucking beat that ass.
Meet me there, baby.
I'll talk to you next week. Peace.
James, love you, bro.
Appreciate you, James.
That was hilarious. Yeah, but later in the week. That was hilarious. Oh my god!
Come on, guys! Like, listen, man. Richie is a cloud of optimism, and I get that, and I love that. I'm just keeping it real. I'm telling you guys how it is. When the Jets play a flawless game on both sides of the ball, I will be the first one to freaking take my shirt off and twirl
but there's
around
also
and
nothing that
dance on
there's
the
also
tables.
nothing that Jack said that isn't correct.
Thank you.
So like,
thank you.
So like we're objectively looking at the game for 4 quarters plus overtime, and we saw how we saw it. And the Jets pulled off a miracle win, guys. The Jets had 99% chance of losing the game, and they miraculously won the game. So there's a lot of things that needs to be cleaned up. And if you're a Jets fan, you're upset at the hearing Jack being negative. He's not being negative. He's just bringing it up, the reality of the situation yesterday. And yes, we want to celebrate, and woohoo, was Victory Monday. That's what we're going to do today. But there's also another side of things that we just, as a Jets fan base, needs to realize there's some things needs to get cleaned up. I mean, I was trying to find the clip to show you guys Breece Hall, because Breece Hall's press conference after the game was very impressive. He literally had a frown on his face, and they won the game.
Breece Hall is me.
Yeah,
the guy
like,
that you all love and want to kiss on the lips, Breece Hall, is me.
he literally was pissed
So
off.
go
after
talk
the
the
game.
same shit you talk to me to Breece Hall.
I gotta find the clip and show you guys because Breece was literally like, "I'm not happy. This is like we won, but he wanted to blow them out. Like this is not our standard." So like even our own players is feeling the same way. So it's not negativity; it's being realistic right here. But we got someone who's got to bring that energy, and that's King Lowski's in the house because King Lowski's here, and it's a W, baby. Give it to me, King.
Victory's fucking Monday. G-E-T-S. Yes. Let's freaking go.
Give me that energy.
Now, let me say this, man. All right, shout out to the Mozzie's Bar and Grill here in Atlanta. All right, I sent you the clip on Instagram, Richie.
You're down in Atlanta? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta, Richie. And I tagged you in the post, man. Let me tell you something.
I didn't see it. I gotta check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I went to the bar with my pops, and my pops just went off to a corner when Zach got the sack, man. And I couldn't leave because I'm familiar in the bar. So everybody see my face. Everybody know I'm the loudest mother, in the room. So at the end of the day, man, hey, man, it was a tough, gritty win. But the only way you can explain it is it's just football.
That's how I'm realizing.
Football.
I'm slowly
That's
realizing
it,
that. We win, but we win in ways that we want to rip our hair out of our head and just like have a heart attack. And if that's how we win, we win.
That's how we win, baby. Ain't no Richie, what I say in the beginning of the season, man, it's gonna be hard to score more than 13 points on us. I'm telling you, we keep holding teams to 10 points. And you're going to see what's going to happen. We're going to be playoff bound for sure. Okay?
100%.
Now, let me say this, man, because I like to get to the next games. I don't like to dwell in the wins. I don't like to dwell in the losses. Okay? I like to get on to the next game because it's a long season and we got to make the playoffs. Okay? Now, remember how we felt after we beat Chicago when we were 7-4?
Yeah, the last win we had.
Yeah, right. I'm sure the Chargers are probably feeling the same way until they run into a buzzsaw. That's the Jets' freaking defense. You kidding me? We're going to put a hurting on Justin Herbert. We're going to hey, I don't care what nobody say. That boy going to fill us. You hear me?
100%.
He's going to fill us.
I love
you
it.
best believe that. Hey, Jack, let me tell you something. Don't you change your takes for nobody. You keep getting on the freaking team because we freaking need it. All right? You know me, Richie. I called him a child for a long time. He became a man in 24 seconds with them 2 throws. Okay? All right? So at the end of the day, Jack, don't you change your damn takes for nobody.
Never, bro.
You
Never.
keep being negative about the damn team as long as we keep playing like freaking trash. All right? We do not accept mediocrity here in the JETS. Yes, baby. Let's go, baby. Victory Monday. Let's go.
Let's go.
Lowski, we love you,
King
brother.
Lowski with
Thank
like the heat. I mean, you can't even.
Yeah,
I mean, like, how do you break that down?
I'm not changing my thoughts for nobody, man. Come on.
Let's go. And that's
Appreciate that, Lowski.
And I brought it up. King Lowski brought it up. I'm having a realization, folks. This just might be the Jets culture, unfortunately, with Zach Wilson right now, of how we win comes. And I tweeted out yesterday, are we ever going to get a win where we're not feeling like we're going to have a heart attack? We just have a nice 3-possession lead and just win. I don't think that's possible. I think it's going to be this way for the rest of the year. And Jets fans, buckle up because this is this seems to be the blueprint of wins. Remember, all 4 victories are comeback wins. None of them have we led. Right? We led against the Giants 7-3. They take the lead 10-7. We force overtime. We come back and beat them. Right? Even against the Broncos, we're losing at halftime. We come back and win that game. Against the Eagles, we're losing in the 4th quarter. Literally, we don't have a lead until we got that touchdown from Breece Hall, and we somehow, some way won the game. Bills come from behind. All 4 wins at the 4th quarter with 2 minutes left. We're all like, ah. So maybe that's just how it is, and I don't know if it's sustainable. But at this point, it is.
I guess that's what we're dealing with, man. I think you might be right. I think this is the current brand of New York Jets football with Zach Wilson at quarterback.
until this offense figures out a way to be consistent, to score touchdowns and score even points. I mean,
let me ask you a question. This is looking way in the future. Who knows what's going to happen? Is Zach Wilson backing up Aaron Rodgers next year?
Yes, I think so. I think, he has another year of control under him.
Mhm.
So it's not like he's walking in free agency.
Mhm.
They're not going to cut him. The big question is the 5th-year option. They're going to have to make a decision on this offseason. And I know a lot we have to see, because the Jets could be looking at a first-round pick, or it could be drafting a quarterback for their next guy. But if the Jets are really liking what they're seeing from Zach for the rest of the year in the offseason and behind closed doors, they're seeing some strides. I mean, a lot has to be seen for this season for me to really say that with conviction. But if I had to predict it, I'm going to say yes. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the chat about that question, because it's an interesting conversation, because Zach Wilson is a winning quarterback this season.
If he wasn't the 2nd overall pick, he would have been gone by now.
Yeah.
But I feel like,
and he's the backup quarterback right now with a winning record. And right now, that's what a backup quarterback needs to do.
Yeah. This is a big one, man. This is a big year for the remaining career of Zach Wilson.
Yeah, and
Jets Unleashed. McGovern is out with a dislocated knee. That stinks. Richie's going to Twitter right now.
Is he I know he had a kneecap issue. Is it?
Check.
It's considered week to week. Okay. So that's not the end. Oh, not season ending, it seems. So Ian Rappaport says Connor McGovern suffered a dislocated kneecap. There is some damage that is caused, but there's a chance he doesn't need surgery. McGovern will get a second opinion and is considered week to week. So that's the update on McGovern. Damn, if there's one guy that couldn't go down, it's our center. I mean, he's been a rock. He took less money to be here. Oh, it's so freaking frustrating. But hey, man, next man up.
We got to go get somebody. I saw somebody tweet at Nick Mangold yesterday. Nick, you busy?
Or suit up Joe Douglas.
Yeah, let's get Joe Douglas out there. He's a big boy.
Big body.
He looks like he's played some offensive line potentially in his life.
Big body out there. Slideshow with the super chat. This came in 15 minutes ago. My apologies, just seeing it now. Appreciate the super chat, my friend. Jets 7-10 incoming. Fins up. Can't wait for Black Friday.
Bro, I speak for all Jets fans when I say we are so not scared of the Miami Dolphins. Like, it's so hilarious how unafraid of the Dolphins I am as a Jets fan.
Congrats.
Like,
you're going to have
wait.
You're going to have one 50-yard touchdown to Tyreek, and that's it.
I cannot wait, bro. If even that.
Dude.
If even a touchdown to Tyreek. I cannot wait until this Jets defense eats Tua like a freaking snack. Oh, I'm excited for that.
Spot throwing Tua.
Oh, I'm excited.
And yeah, man, Jalen Ramsey came back. He had a pick. Cool. But let's see what they do against the Chiefs next week. That's going to be a big game for them. So we shall see. James, $10 super chat. We love you, James. Appreciate that. First off, Jack is right completely. So whoever talking shit, you shouldn't. We need to get better, but I'm just trying to enjoy. But Jack is right.
James, I love you, bro. I love all you guys. You guys are all entitled to your opinions, just like I'm entitled to mine, man. I'm just not going to back down. I say what feels right, and I say what I believe, and I say it with conviction. And I'll always do that. I will always do that. And you know what? If that means being the villain of the podcast, then you know what? So be it, baby. I embrace it. I want all the smoke. Because I stick to my guns.
As you should, baby. As you freaking should. James, we appreciate the $10.
Appreciate you, James.
We appreciate the support,
Thank
bro.
you very much for the donation, man. That means a lot.
Seriously, dude. Thank you so much, bro. All right, let's get into the next caller, guys. We got D Risen in the house. What's up, D?
Risen.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Man, first of all, hey, man, I'm doing great, man. With this win that we had this weekend, I'm doing pretty well with that. For the most part, I just want to say I thank you guys, man. Like, you guys do a lot for the Jets culture, man. You know, there's not too many podcasts out there that represents the Jets. And Jack and Richie, you guys are awesome, man. And I just, one thing I wanted to say before I go is that I really love the fact that you guys really put your all into this podcast and really showing the world that, Jets do have a fan base, and we're not just, a stinking Jets team and, everybody doubts us all the time. And, we always have to live off of being better than other teams because we're in such, diverse division, with the Pats and everything else, with them winning a lot of rings. And our potential is always looked down on us. And it's good to know that, we have a great defense this year. And I'm so grateful that you guys are there every Sunday to call the games, because sometimes I can't watch the games. I'm always at work. Um, but the one question that I do have for you guys is that Jack said before something that I wanted to mention, but he kind of beat me to it. With the whole Zach Wilson thing and the whole offensive line, do you guys really think that it'll be best for Rodgers to come back? For one, if Zach does great with the Jets team, say for example, for the rest of the year, he does great with the Jets team. We make it to the playoffs. With the trash O line that we have, he's able to scramble and make plays. We all know that with Rodgers' Achilles, he is not going to scramble. He's going to try to stay in the pocket as much as he can. And that might not be a good thing for him, with our O line. So do you guys really think that is a good thing for us to either keep Rodgers, or maybe, in the offseason try to, get a better O line? Or if Zach, turns it all around to where we're looking like, like a Super Bowl team, about time the playoffs come, do you guys really think that Rodgers should come back and take his spot? Because, even though Rodgers is a better thrower, he's a better quarterback, but guys, he's suffering Achilles. We have a trash O-line. He's not going to be able to scramble. We have a young quarterback in Zach where, he's not Rodgers, but he can scramble. He's young, he can use his legs, so I'm kind of scared that we might be rushing to bring Rodgers back, or maybe he's rushing himself to come back, and then we get upset, because our O-line is not able to stand up, and then we know Rodgers is not going to scramble. Because look at the play that he got injured on. He didn't even scramble that play. He took like 2 steps back, and then he got sacked. And we all know that Rodgers is not always, he's never been like a big scrambler guy. He was always relying on his arm and things like that. But come on, guys, man. Like, I'm kind of worried about the fact that we might have to rely on Zach for even next year. We might have to do that.
You bring up a great point, D, and thank you so much for the call, and thank you for the kind words that you had for the podcast.
Absolutely,
first and foremost.
Thank you so much.
That means a lot to Jack and I. We're really trying to build this and trying to represent the fan base as best as we can, and more importantly, get guys like you, D, and other people on the show to voice their opinions. And that's what this podcast is all about, to get you guys a platform to feel out, celebrate a win, and be miserable with a loss.
That's what it's all about, baby. That's what it's all about. Community, baby. JETS.
But your thoughts of the Zach Wilson thing. Now, listen, it's a big conversation. It's a big, weird conversation, because it's like, if Zach Wilson does get us into a playoff, like say the Jets are the 6th seed in the wild card at like 9-6 or something, and then Rodgers is healthy, like, and then the offensive line is still messed up, like, but Rodgers is saying, I'm good to go. Like, what do the Jets do? Like, do you throw Rodgers out there with the risk of that, or do you just keep it with Zach? I mean, that's a big conversation that we're going to have.
I think my theory on this whole thing with, is Aaron Rodgers going to come back? Is he not going to come back? What's it going to look like? I think he knows. I think the Jets know. I think Rodgers knows that he's not coming back this year. That is truly what my gut is telling me. I think Rodgers knows that people are writing him off. He knew people were writing him off before he tore his Achilles. Now that he tore his Achilles, he knows that most people out there think he's done, that he's never going to play another snap in the NFL. I think him being so committed to saying the words, yeah, I'd like to play again this year, him going out onto the field, throwing passes around and stuff like that, I think that's showing his commitment to the team. I think that's showing people, I wanted to be here. I didn't come here for money. I wanted to be here. I wanted to help the Jets win. I wanted to win for myself. And I think that's to show the organization, the players, the fans, obviously, his commitment to the New York Jets. But I don't think that we're gonna see. I just don't know.
Yeah,
man.
and it's gonna
with
be
this offensive line.
And again, it's a miracle if he comes
with the
back.
wet. I mean, I know he's been playing in cold weather his entire career, but coming back in late December, to play in the Northeast, I don't.
It's
far
far-fetched. It's far-fetched.
Yeah, it's out there, man. It's out there. So my gut tells me no, but I mean, then you see the video of the guy planting and throwing yesterday,
And the one thing that I will say
what the hell?
that isn't Rodgers' favor, and he said it himself, that it's huge that it was on a left Achilles and not a right, because your right foot is his plant foot.
Yeah.
So he said, there's not a lot of stress on your left Achilles when you're a quarterback because that's your front foot. You're not planting on it. So he said, that's in his advantage of the rehab. And he said, if it was his right Achilles, he think it would be a way harder way to come back this early that he's trying to do. So
probably a career ender if it was his right Achilles.
Yeah,
honestly,
that's a plant. You plant on that back foot, and that's why we're seeing him be able to plant and do dropbacks on the field because it's his left Achilles that has the injury. So definitely, interesting conversations that we're going to be having every single week.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get into the next caller. We got V-Man, the legend, representing Rodgers.
Oh, dude, that's a sweet Elijah Moore jersey, V-Man.
Yeah,
Well,
Elijah Moore jersey.
you know what I did with this Elijah Moore jersey? Is that correct?
Love it.
Look at that.
Love it.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Yeah, no.
How you doing, V-Man?
I'm doing good, honestly. It was an ugly game. If I didn't have to go to work, I would have probably cracked open one of these.
V-Man.
Yeah, no. I got this because, I learned quickly on that this is toilet water.
All right. So you found your brand then, I guess you could say.
Well, yeah, no. This is true. You go to Puerto Rico, they will not give you this. You will have to ask for Bacardi. They will look at you funny and say, "Why do you want toilet water?"
V-Man, I think you should come out with your own brand of rum. Something Jets related, something V-Man related.
You got a butt ton of molasses for me?
V-Man, how you feel about this Jets offense having to keep up with Justin Herbert and the high-flying Chargers offense next week? Or do you think the Jets defense is just going to shut it the hell down?
I'm not worried. Look, we already got 3 straight wins. By the way, I think you know what these are.
I have no idea, V-Man.
Slides. The bottleneck slide.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So yeah, but we already got 3 dubs in a row. And let's be honest.
I'm sorry, V-Man. I never know what to expect with you, man. I don't know.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna say the thing about the Chargers are, they're the quintessential snatch defeat from the jaws of victory team. It's like you're sitting here and telling me Brandon Staley bringing the Chargers all the way to the East Coast on a Monday night primetime game is gonna not snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Then, yeah, I've got a bridge to sell you.
Yeah, the Chargers are opening as the favorites in this game, and the Jets are home at 4-3, and the Chargers are favored. So interesting stuff.
Yeah, no,
it's the Zach Wilson effect.
Yeah, no, honestly, I do think, look, this game was just perfect example of Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And it literally, bad play calling, freak injuries. I mean, my God, can 2026 come sooner so that we can get real grass on this field?
Oh,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, because when the World Cup comes, FIFA does not want turf. FIFA will not play on this field with turf. They're going to force them to put grass in there.
Yeah, that is true. I didn't think about that.
So yeah.
So we have to wait for another sport to come into town in order to save our guys from injury. Thanks, Woody.
Woody and John Mara.
Damn.
But come on, let's be real. The moment the World Cup's over, they're yanking that shit out.
Yeah, that is true. Well, V-Man, we always appreciate your genuine ability to give us your Jets take. And are you going to take a shot for us or no? It's too early.
No, it's too early. Don't ask him to do that. Save that for the AFC East roundtable tonight. What time is that? 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock. You can take a shot at dinner time.
Unfortunately, if I can get on, but I'm going to say this though. I think one of the big plays from this game, one of the key things of this game was a mistake on the Giants that saved our skin.
The Giants lost more than we won, but go on.
No. The big one was, Kayvon Thibodeau, for all the game wrecking he did this game, his one mistake saved the game for us.
The offsides.
The neutral I
Stop
thought
the
it was
clock.
a infraction.
Yeah,
Wasn't
it
it a-
stopped the clock.
Yeah, stop the clock there, allowed the Jets to basically gave them a free timeout to get down the field without having to, to make the next play. And then
Mhm.
you gotta give the team credit, the mistake in Denver not being able to spike the ball before the clock ran out this time. Also the ref for getting the ball there as quick as he did. And they were able to quickly spike the ball. Barely got it off, but they got it, and that's all that matters.
Got it.
But they got it, man.
Got it.
They got
I
it.
can't believe they actually got it.
V-Man, we love you, bro. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one, buddy.
Peace out, bro. Appreciate you as always.
Man, that last 24 seconds really couldn't have gone any better for us.
Dude, everything went
The
in our favor.
entire game was hell. Watching that game was a form of torture. Cruel and unusual punishment watching that game. And the last 24 seconds, I mean, you get the Kayvon Thibodeau offsides. Stops the clock. Basically like a timeout when we have none. 17 seconds, clock stops, ball moves. Beautiful.
And the execution of the route by Garrett and throw by Zach. Without that.
Of course. I mean, of course.
On top of that.
Of course.
Like,
But
where was that all game? Where was the deep post over the middle? That's like there. Like, beautiful. Like, oh, Zach can throw it down the field and complete it to Garrett Wilson for 35 yards. That's a thing.
Just so frustrating, man.
Oh, and then he can break free off of a scramble drill and do something that Rodgers done his entire career of scrambling. And his receiver can break off his route and get open off schedule. Where is it?
A win is a win is a win is a win is a freaking win. But damn it, when you see how inconsistent this offense is, and then how consistently awesome this freaking defense is.
Ferocious.
Oh man, it's like I said it before, it really is hard to do. But the Jets have managed to do it.
And
the Jets have managed to have the best defense and worst offense at the same time. How does it happen? I don't know. But the Jets found a way, man.
It's a beautiful thing, and it's
The
also
Jets
an ugly
found a
thing
way.
at the same time. All right, let's get to the next caller here. Elite Wolf. What's
What
good,
up, man?
Elite?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Good, man.
Honestly, first of all, I can't be the only one. Richie, I saw you live yesterday. My heart stopped on that last play from Zach.
Which one?
Freaking 1 second, man.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. We got it.
1 second.
You heard me. I was like, oh, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
I saw the Broncos game
Yeah.
flash before my eyes.
Now I was like, oh, hell no, please no. But I'm going to say this. Chargers, I don't know where the hell you are from anymore, because last time I remember y'all from San Diego, but I guess you weren't wanted there. But we coming for you. You're next. And honestly, the Dolphins, I don't really know. I don't know what to say, man. I've heard so much crap talk from. Oh, I don't care. I don't care. Tua's having a great year. Let's see how he does when an actual defense comes and tackles him.
Oh, well, we did see what Tua looks like with an actual defense twice, and it did not look good for him.
Well, Lord knows I have money on riding on that game, so
Hey, good
and I
luck
have
to
bragging
you, brother.
rights. So
Good luck to all of us. Exactly. It's not just money on the line, but there's bragging rights within
Hell
the
yeah.
division.
bragging
All these
rights,
Fins
especially.
fans. Yeah, man.
All the Fins fans saying, "Oh, Rodgers ain't gonna do anything." It's not Rodgers you got to worry for now.
Dude,
Yeah,
You
man.
prepared for the wrong guy.
let's do it. I'm excited, man. That game's gonna be wild, and hopefully the Jets can get into that game, like in the playoffs. Like I want them to be in the playoffs by
Definitely,
that
man.
game by Black Friday. We'll see. So Elite Wolf, appreciate the call as always, and let's freaking
course.
go Jets. They did it. They pulled it off.
And I'll
Thank
see
you,
y'all
baby.
next week.
Yes, sir. Have a good
Appreciate
one.
that. Let's freaking go, man.
Let's go, baby.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
It is beautiful.
So, Jack, whenever you want to take a break, you're more than
I was
welcome to.
just gonna say I've had to pee for the last 15 minutes. So why don't you take a caller, or whatever, and I'll come back, and then I'm looking forward to getting into these tweets from yesterday, man, because
Oh yeah,
I said
guys,
I
we have
said
a
some
fun,
crazy stuff.
We have a fun segment that we are going to go into the Twitter
You guys
world.
think I'm negative on the podcast? Wait for this next segment, boys. You guys are really gonna get your opportunity to give it to me.
Yeah, I mean on Twitter during the game, I was firing out live tweets like I was losing. I mean, you'll see me. I mean, I was losing my freaking mind during the game, like we all were. So I'm really excited to get into that segment where we're going to go on Twitter and go into what we were tweeting during the game. I think that's very funny. All right. Let's get into the next caller. We got Johnny. Johnny!
Hey, bro.
It's good, dude.
Dude, what a game, right?
Game.
Left. I was like, I'm going to go cut the grass. My wife comes out screaming. They tied the game. They tied the game. We're going into overtime. I'm like, yo, don't play with my heart right now because I need to cut this grass because I don't know what else to do. So I come back in, bro. Holy crap, man. We need to pick up a wide receiver and we need some offensive line help, man. Ben Jones, Lawan Taylor. I would be giving them guys a call right now. Even though Newman did good and everything, given whatever he was given, right? So it was pretty tough. But my biggest take on this game is, other than Garrett Wilson, our wide receivers on man could not get any kind of separation.
Nothing.
That's not a good thing, dude. It's bad, especially the way Zach plays, because Zach sometimes will give that ball a little bit behind and not in stride as it should be given. So who's out there, man? I mean, at this point, dude, do we go for a Javaris Landry and see if that guy comes in over and see what he can do? I mean, he has sure hands, right? Do too many drop balls yesterday on stuff that, because 100% honest with you, man, other than that one play that it was ugly throw that he threw at Breece Hall's ankles, right? It was a pretty clean game for Zach. You know, I mean, did he hold the ball a little bit? Yeah, that dude was getting killed back there. The dude was getting smacked around yesterday. And I'm not a Zach truther at all, but video is video, right? And if you watch him, you'll see he did not have a bad game. I think he ended up throwing for almost 250.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken yesterday, you know, so, and that just shows you this time last year, we played this game last year, we lose. There's no way he's that poised to go ahead and bring us down the field back like that.
It's
and
unbelievable.
my boy, Malik Taylor. How
Malik
about that?
Taylor, fresh off the practice squad.
I was so hyped when that dude did that, man. But, you know, hey, it's going to be a tough one next week. The games for the rest of the year, dude, this is what it is going to be ugly down to the second games, and I think we can win them. We're proving every single time that we can win these games when it comes to these, you know, punch them out type of games. So I'm excited. I'm hyped. Hey, JETS, baby, I'm still there.
JETS all the way,
let's
Johnny.
go, man.
Let's go. Appreciate you, man. And always appreciate the call from my man, Johnny. The fact that, and like Johnny's not alone. I mean, Jets fans, I saw videos of Jets fans outside of the stadium celebrating the win because they left. They left and they're in MetLife Stadium's parking lot looking up at the screen watching the Jets win in overtime because they left the game because nobody thought they were going to come back. So he's not the only one that felt that way. And I'm sure everybody in the chat has their own funny stories of where they were when the Jets came back. Did they forget it? Did they leave? I mean, my own dad left and he came back and he was so confused. He was like, I don't understand. How are we in overtime? So like, that's just the reality of it, man. And it just brings this fan base together even more when you go through games like that. Wayne, member for 7 months of Jets Media. Thank you so much, bro, for being a consistent member here on the channel. Jets have the Finns scared. They won't admit it, but it's true. They won't admit it, but it's true. They will not admit it, but it's true, baby. Come on now. What you got to say to that? What do you got to say to that? Hey, let's freaking get it, folks. Guys, if you're just tuning into the show, do not hit that thumbs up, buddy. Hit that thumbs up button. It's Victory Monday. It's unbelievable how the Jets were able to pull off this win. Guys, hit that like button. We got 128 likes. Run it up right now, folks. Run it the heck up right now. And also, if you guys want to do me a favor and click that link down below in the description, you guys can check us out on the Jets Media podcast on Apple and Spotify and download the pod there. That will be awesome, guys. Would really, really appreciate that. We're going to be taking some more of your callers as we get into the final hour of the show. Remember, the Jets Media Podcast is live every Monday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., 3-hour show, and we're taking your callers. We celebrate Victory Mondays. Actually, next Monday is going to be a preview show, I realized, because we're on Monday Night Football. I don't know how we're going to do that. Maybe I'll talk to Jack and ask him, should we push the Jets Media Podcast to Tuesday morning, or should we still do Monday morning to preview the game? I don't know. That's an interesting conversation that we should have. All right, let's get into the next caller. We got Mr. Bonesy.
Hey, can you write this up to me?
Mr.
What's
Bonesy,
up, guys?
you're live, man.
You
Let's
guys,
go.
I'm at work. You guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine, man. How you doing?
Good, man. What's going on? You guys, Victory Monday. Do we deserve this? We do, baby.
We do. Somehow, some way, we do.
What a game, man.
beautiful.
We just got to be grateful that we know Zach wouldn't have did this last year. And the fact that just a couple weeks ago we screwed up with spiking the ball, you saw, the improvement in that. And then on top of it, just to get over how bad the run game was with the injuries to the O-line. And we all know what Zach did wrong yesterday. Besides, look, I just said this on Jake's show. He had about 5 bad drops from, I don't want to. Garrett had a great game. He's always making contesting catches. It seems like the kid can't even get these like simple, just, conversion catches. It always has to be a contested catch, a big time catch. So shout out to Garrett for just being the man. But Lazard had bad drops. Breece had 2 bad drops. And Zach just has to learn how to throw the ball away and stop running backwards. This kid just keeps. He did good over the past couple of weeks, and I guess he was kind of running for his life. But that sack on 4th down yesterday, when everyone started leaving the game and all these stories started surfacing where people watched the win, that was it. That play was
throw
like
it up, and he just needs to throw that up on 4th down, and someone hopefully will make a play on it. And he said that while he was running backwards, he was trying to give the receivers enough time to get open, and it was a mistake. And then he took that big sack, and you're just like, how we lost? Well, we didn't. How do we not lose? I don't know how we were able to win after that play.
Kayvon on the sideline, he was laughing, smiling. He just had the career game of his life. And then he goes off sides and gives us the free stoppage. And kudos to Zach for noticing that. Because if you saw, like, his eyes, as soon as he saw Thibodeau come off and he saw the flag, he was like, free play. Then he started gearing towards the middle of the field instead of concentrating on the sideline, which gave us that huge pass that obviously set up the field goal. But that was another. Oh man, I got Giants friends. I'm in a group chat with
this freaking. What do you call it? Bragging rights, right?
Right.
We got the bragging rights now.
Back so big. I needed these bragging rights. And the last thing I'll say is, we have to realize that we're still playing with our backup quarterback. How many quarterbacks do you see have bad games? Look at the NFL yesterday. Purdy, he's been fantastic. And now he's strung a couple bad games in a row. Hey, look who's back.
Yep, he's back.
Nice piss break. I got you, bro.
Mr. Bonesy.
What's up, baby?
How you doing, man?
Chilling at work, just feeling lucky, feeling like I don't deserve this. Feeling good, feeling great. But
Amen,
look at Patrick Mahomes yesterday. Great quarterbacks have bad games. Our backup quarterback, he had a bad game in bad weather. And another thing, I played flag football yesterday morning with a couple of, we play like 5-on-5, 4-on-4, whatever. It's, it was a slop fest yesterday. Like it took us almost 3 hours to play to 9. We couldn't even. It was.
If
the weather played.
You should have told me, Richie, I played flag football this morning, and it took 3 hours. Now we know it's going to be a slop fest at MetLife Stadium. If the elements, the damn elements, Mr. Bonesy, they're even impacting your flag football game. Can we get a clean, dry game on Monday night? That's all I ask.
Right, and Zach has to prove to us that he can play in bad weather. Last year, he gave us a chance to win against the Lions, and then he followed it up against Jacksonville with replaced by Strebler. So now that you watch him again yesterday in bad weather, and you could tell by his body language, he was frustrated, man. He was hitting, dirt and balls, and the weather definitely played a factor. But we got to clean up them drop balls. But did you guys see the Moorhead the punter's interview? He was crying, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
how much this team is a family. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, that
feels
really
good.
that really hit me in a different freaking way. And Mr. Bonesy, thank you so much for the call. We always appreciate you tuning in from work.
Love you guys.
And all your Giants fans, what's good?
Thank you, brother. Appreciate the call, man.
Appreciate you, Mr. Bonesy, as always, dude. That Thomas Morstead interview just kind of gave me so much more respect, not only for Morstead, but like the organization, because he wouldn't stop praising Douglas and Saleh and Brant Boyer and like them giving him that opportunity and just feeling the sense of family. Because I really think that this Jets team is special from the standpoint of the culture and how close this team is and how much they are a family. And like we've seen it. Lincoln Tomlinson, he got emotional. I'm pretty sure a couple weeks back talking about it. Like the wins mean so much. And it's not like the offense is in the corner celebrating the locker room. The defense is in their little corner celebrating. They're celebrating as a collective unit when they win. And it just tells you the culture that Robert Saleh really built here. And of course, Joe Douglas, they aligned on the way of the type of brains and the type of mindsets they're trying to bring into the locker room. And they've built a locker room that genuinely appreciates one another. And that translates to the field, and it translates to these miraculous wins. And it's cool that we have a team like that. That's just like so close.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Because usually it's not the way. We usually have characters getting arrested, and it's like divide, and the locker rooms pointing fingers at each other. And it felt like that at one point this season. But Robert Saleh, in my opinion, deserves so much credit for in that moment, guys. Let me just break this down real quick. In that week I'm talking about, when everyone's, asking Zach Wilson to be benched, Saleh goes to the podium, defends his quarterback. Everyone's ridiculing Saleh. We're hearing, the locker room's collapsing. Saleh, being the head coach, being the controller of all three phases of the ball, being the controller of the coaching staff, he kept the locker room together and just won 3 straight games. So like that, from that moment, we were 1-3, and we were thinking of the worst possibility, the locker room imploding, the entire team collapsing, quarterback, everyone's pointing fingers, but the head coach of the New York Jets kept the locker room together, kept the belief high, and he got through adversity, and he scraped out 3 straight wins. And that's impressive. And I think that that's something I've been really impressed with. And the reality is, can we stop relying on these sloppy miracle wins and start stringing together some consistent big wins? And that's the next step.
Julian, what I've come to realize is that every game is going to be like this. Even the Dolphins game, they're going to have to play dirty, and they don't play that way. Yeah, man. Richie's been saying this throughout the stream, and I agree with you, and I agree with Richie. I think that, maybe, unfortunately for us, I think this is the New York Jets brand of football with Zach
Unfortunately
Wilson.
for the fan base.
With Zach Wilson under center. So, yeah, thank you for the donation, Julian. Really appreciate it. And you make a good point. This seems to be how they have to win games.
And if that's what it takes, and can you imagine we go all the way to the Super Bowl this way? No, it's a joke, but how hilarious would that be? Every win from here on out, we win 11 games, but every single 11 wins are from behind, and it's stressful, and it's miracle fashion. And even when we get to the playoffs, it's the same exact thing. It's stressful. We find a way to win, and it's just Zach Wilson's literally, you look at the box score, stats stink, but he's just stinking it up. Miracle. What? He wins the game. And then we're realizing, wait, you know what? We're defying the odds. Maybe you don't need a MVP level quarterback to win football games. And we're seeing that right now before our very eyes.
Maybe.
Who knows if it's sustainable? Doesn't feel that way, but you never know.
Who knows, man?
Point 5 just became a member of Jets Media YouTube channel. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you.
Welcome.
Let's go.
All right, guys, we're going to get to the rest of your callers. We also have a fun segment that Jack and I are going to get to where we go into our Twitter accounts and see where our minds were at during the game. But I'm going to take a quick bathroom break.
Yeah, go take your break, man. I'm going to take these next couple
over 2
callers.
hours. Jack's going to get to all your callers right now, guys. So thank you for being patient. We got a lot of people waiting backstage. We're going to get to all you guys. So we appreciate you all. We're going to take you in as the time you came in. So we will see you guys soon. Well, I will see you guys.
All right, guys, here we go. First one up is going to be Mr. VR. VR, hope you're ready, brother. Because you are live. What's up, man?
Yo, what's going on, Jack? Richie, go to the bathroom. Make it quick.
How you doing,
What's
bro?
up, Jack? Victory Monday. I got my victory coffee in hand.
Love it.
And I'm ready to go.
Love
Yesterday's game, man, it was like 4 flat tires to the finish line, but we made it. You know what I mean? We made it across the finish line, and we did the thing, man. Like any way, any which way possible is gonna be how this season is gonna go. And I think we're gonna make the playoffs,
Man,
by
I hope
hook
so.
or by crook, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In regards to Zach Wilson, let me just say this. Zach is like, he's gone through all the like media and like the, people telling him like, you're no good. You had Joe Namath coming on and saying like he wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
And he stood tall. I got to give him props for going through the past couple of years and this season and coming out, and he's still standing. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, he is still standing. I had to give him his props. Now, that being said, I feel like I'm in an unhealthy relationship with Zach.
Yup.
Like, like you have that relationship that is like, toxic.
Yep.
That person that like they
Yep.
talk behind your back on social media, and then like in person they tell you that they love you. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
That's how I
Zach
feel in
Wilson
my
is
heart.
a fake friend.
Yeah, exactly. A frenemy,
A
so to
frenemy.
speak.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
But
Yes.
I gotta give him his props. And
Yeah. When it
I
mattered
gotta-
most, bro. When it mattered
Yeah.
most, he played like dog shit for 4 full quarters, basically. And then when it mattered most, found a way to move the ball downfield. So
24
you're right.
seconds.
You're
24
right. Yeah.
seconds.
You're right.
know?
You're right.
I have a couple of questions.
Yeah, go
First
for
one is, let me hear your thoughts, Jack, about keeping Zach in it. It seems that Zach does really well when he's not when he's impulsive and not thinking in that like 2-minute to 4-minute offense. Let me hear your thoughts about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of mind-boggling. Like I said, he played like garbage yesterday for pretty much an entire game, and then you get into the 2-minute drill, and not even the 2-minute drill. He messed up the first 2-minute drill.
That's true.
The guy freaking took a sack on 4th and 10 to give the Giants the ball back, and we all thought for sure the game was over at that point. So he messed it up the first time. You don't usually get second chances at that in this league, but he was blessed with a second chance yesterday and made up for it the second time. So it seems like, it's going back to that, it's like an abusive relationship. For every good thing that happens, there's 2 bad things that happen. So I wish I had a more concrete answer for you, bro. I just don't know. I don't know why he can turn it on when we need to. And then, I mean, we should have beaten the Giants by freaking 40 yesterday. So I don't know, man. I wish I had a better answer for you, but what's another question you got, man?
Yeah, the last question I have, and you can take me off after this, but did you guys talk about like options for the offensive line, like that are out there in terms of free agents, or like what we're gonna do? Like Dwayne Brown comes back, like how is gonna shake out? Tittman coming back. What are your thoughts, and what do you see and project for the next game?
Well, I think that, we're going to have to make something happen within the next, day before the trade deadline in terms of getting somebody in here that can be productive on the offensive line. Somebody mentioned before Ben Jones, who's currently a free agent, get him in the building. Why the hell not? Yeah. And then, you obviously got a guy like Dwayne Brown coming back. I think there's still some mystery around Joe Tittman's injury in terms of how serious it really is and how much time he'll be missing. We hear that Connor McGovern today is now week to week. Wes Schweitzer goes down a couple plays later. So you can't even make it up, bro. You can't make it up. And, who knows where they go from here. I still maintain my trust in Joe Douglas, that he'll find a way to improve this offensive line before the deadline hits, in, less than 48 hours. So, again, there's so many variables to that question. All I'm going to say is that I'm going to leave it in the general manager's hand. Like I said, there's guys out there like a Ben Jones. I'm not sure in terms of, who would be a potential trade target for other teams. That all depends on if they're interested in, Dalvin Cook or Carl Lawson or draft compensation or whatever it's going to be. But all I know is that we absolutely have to improve this offensive line right away. VR, thank you so much, buddy. Have a great rest of your day, bro. Thank you so much. Moving on to Phenom. Phenom, you're live. What's up, brother?
Hey, Jack. What's good, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Happy Victory Monday. Thanks a lot. What a roller coaster ride that was yesterday. Completely a roller coaster, but I want everybody to repeat with me. Ugly wins are better than pretty losses.
Oh, man.
Ugly wins are better
Say it
than
again.
pretty losses.
Say it one more time.
Ugly wins are better than pretty losses. Kansas City game was a pretty loss.
Yeah, and this feels better than that. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
So we'll take it. Unbelievable. I mean, you can't have written this. If you were an award-winning writer and you wrote that script, nobody would believe that book.
No.
What happened yesterday? I think the odds of just winning or losing was 99-1 or something crazy like that.
Yep.
I don't have any. The only consistency we have is our defense, and that folded to an extent yesterday. Can you believe that? It was an amazing football game to watch.
It was one of the crazier games that we've seen in terms of, you can have a crazy low scoring game, you can have a crazy high scoring game. This game was just ugly as hell, man. I mean, we played terribly yesterday on the offensive side of the ball, and the Giants could not find a way to beat us, dude. We were begging the Giants to win this game yesterday. All the self-inflicted wounds, all the penalties, all the missed opportunities on offense, all the punts, the fumble. I mean, we were begging them to win this game, and they are so bad that they could not beat us.
It was, and then I go to the pregame on SMY, and those guys, you would think they had lost. I mean, you can't. There's no that formula didn't work yesterday, and it still worked.
Yep. You're absolutely right, man.
What I mean, like I said, repeat with me, folks, again.
Ugly wins are better than pretty losses. Phenom, thank you so much, buddy.
Take care, man. Take care, Jack.
Let's go, baby. JTS Jets. One more time. Ugly wins are better than pretty losses. I love it, baby. I love it. Phenom, thank you so much, brother.
All right.
They don't ask how, they ask how many.
That's great. That's great, man. Ugly wins are better than pretty losses. That's the new quote of the week from our boy Phenom. Phenom, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining the show.
Ugly wins are better than pretty losses.
Ugly wins are better than, because he made a point. He's like, that Chiefs game was a pretty loss. But what feels better, that or getting a win? And it'll always be getting a win. It'll always be getting a win. Phenom, great point.
That
man.
letter
great
W is just like it's a great letter.
It's
just there's two of them. There's two doubles. There's two U's connected, which makes it a W.
Really, two V's. But,
yeah, two V's.
But yeah.
If you want to, all right, we're not going to go into the letters, but a W has become my favorite freaking letter, baby. We got Ricky, New York in the house coming back. What's up, Ricky?
Ricky.
What's happening, Richie? You know what? During your stream yesterday, you have the evidence in the chat. For like the last 4 minutes, I kept telling everybody, it ain't over till it's over. I was trying to talk it into existence.
Yes, you were.
And I'll tell you what, man, I can't believe so many people are bitching. With a couple of seconds left, Zach ripped a couple of balls, got us down there, got us in range, and we won the game. I mean, look at that Patriots crap last year with a couple of seconds left, and we lost on that return. I mean, dude, the old Jets used to lose these kind of games. We friggin' won. Okay.
Yeah, it tells you a lot.
Yeah. I mean, everybody should be happy. Like I don't get it. You ain't gonna hear no complaining from me, dude. A W is a W. I am stoked. I am perfectly happy. And, and I'm really proud of Zach. Right before your show, I was watching like Salah's locker room speech, and then I see Zach breaking everybody down at the end. It really seems like he's becoming more of a leader, and him talking about 24 seconds, no problem. And you posted that yesterday. about 24 seconds. And I was like, you know what? He played good for those 24 seconds. He played damn good for those 24 seconds.
Yeah,
and that's all that matters, man. That all that matters in the end is the results. You know, I don't know if it was O'Leary or who it was that posted something about Daniel Brunskill, the guy from Tennessee, might be available. Somebody we could look at for some O-line help.
Yeah.
We definitely need some O-line help. I mean,
no doubt.
Dude, 3 out of 5 positions on the offensive line are hurt, and their backups are hurt. I mean, that shit is like last year.
Can't make it up, bro. You can't make it up.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But you know what? Good Jack the Giant Killer in here for a Victory Monday.
Let's do it.
With you. Awesome, man. And you know what? All I got to say to Giants fans and all those people, you know what? Good teams find a way to win, and this is a good effing team. Go Jets.
Let's go. Ricky, you're a legend, man. I appreciate the call as always, my dude. I really do appreciate the support that you show on the channel. He's got us on in the screen in the background. I mean, he's decked out in his Jets gear, Curtis Martin jersey.
Love it.
That's my guy right there.
Passion, baby. Passion.
Pure passion. And that's what Jets Media is about, is to unleash the passion of myself, of Jack, and all of you fans that are tuning into the podcast here. We cannot thank you enough for showing the support, like Ricky.
Love it.
Let's go. All right. I want to get into the next segment, which is going to be going into Twitter and seeing the roller coaster of emotions from both me and Jack.
Oh, man.
This is going to be a fun time, guys. And then we're going to get into the rest of the callers afterwards. Don't you guys worry.
I'm excited for this, man.
So we'll start off with Jack.
This is you guys' opportunity to really get after me.
Hey, man, I was negative too during it. We all think. All right, where does it start? All right. I believe it's right here.
Starts
Feed Breece Hall.
Feed Breece Hall. Yep.
All right, guys. So this is how it's going to go. We're going to go into Twitter and we're going to break down Jack, and his thoughts of the game as it was happening,
as it was transpiring. Here we go, folks.
All right, here we go. So 23 hours ago, it starts here. Feed Breece Hall. So Jack was like, just give Breece the ball. Like, why aren't we feeding Breece?
Give him the ball.
And then his next tweet is, we need to score a touchdown right now. What do you think this was? Do you remember? Like,
this was
when we got the ball back after.
This is when we got the ball back after the turnover and the field goal from the Giants.
Did we score a touchdown?
No, we did not.
Jack says, getting absolutely destroyed against the blitz, which we were. The Jets could not handle the blitz on offense at all. And then Jack responds, God, this offense is abysmal.
So, guys, so far, I know there's people that probably want to come at me already, but the first 2 tweets are optimistic.
Whoa. Wait a second. $200 super chat.
Oh,
what the fuck? Dude,
thank you so much,
D.
man.
Michi with the $200 super chat. We got to cut this segment short just a little bit. Thank you so much, man. I did not expect this to come out here. Congrats, Richie, on 20,000 subs. Yo, what's good, Jack? Love y'all. As for the game, I'm happy but not satisfied, but hey, I'll take it. Dude, whoa. Thank you so much, guys. Can we get D. Michi some dono hype in the chat? This is ridiculous.
Can't thank you enough, bro. You really don't understand how much something like that means to guys like Richie and I who are putting on this free show for you guys. And it you know, it takes a lot of effort. I know we're just sitting here talking football, but it takes a lot of effort. A lot of money has been poured into this equipment and everything you see behind you and everything you see on the screen. And so much time and blood, sweat, and tears has been put in by Richie specifically. So yeah, I mean, this means so much, man. So thank you so much.
Dude, thank you so much. Yeah, I haven't really been live after I got 20,000 subs, so I haven't really been able to like talk to you guys about it. So thank you all for the support and getting me there, that big milestone. And D. Michi, you did say next time you're live, Richie, I got you on a big super chat, and you, I didn't expect it to be this big.
You were right.
$200, dude. Thank you so much, man. And again, all this money that like these $200 and all the money that comes in via super chats, just so you guys know where it goes, is reinvested right into the business. Because as you guys know, this is what I do full time. This is my business. I am, a business owner of everything that I do here. So like all the money that's coming here is being reinvested into everything that you see, whether it's the equipment, whether it's more content, whether it's hiring people to help me out with content. all that money's being well spent to bring you guys the best content possible. And donations like this help it out way more than you can even imagine. So Dimichi, can't thank you enough, man. That's just wow.
We got to give it up one more time.
I mean, what the?
Thank you so much, man.
Dimichi, we love you, bro. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man.
So getting back into
and now back to my
Jack's craziness.
Bipolar Twitter account.
Well, Breece Hall scored a touchdown. Breece effing Hall is this entire offense. Feed this man and pay him $1 billion. That's when Breece Hall scored his touchdown.
Yep. Definitely.
Hilarious. I hate how much we have to use him, but oh man, Thomas Morstead is elite.
Guys, these are some positive tweets.
We don't want to see Morstead out there, but when he does go out there, it's pretty good.
These are some positive tweets.
We've got to be the most penalized team in football. Just ridiculous. Not doing ourselves any favors at all.
Freaking 9 penalties for 85 yards yesterday, man.
No lies.
Inexcusable.
I love watching this Jets defense do their thing. They really are an elite unit from top to bottom, which they are.
Defensive line, linebackers, secondary, Jeff Ulbrich, Tony Oden, White Cotton. I always forget the linebackers coach name, and I gotta remember it because what he's been able to do to coach up Quincy Williams has been nothing short of phenomenal, man. Shout out to the Jets defense. And then the next tweet after that, I'm gonna drive to MetLife and rip this turf out myself. I believe that's after we lost Connor McGovern and Wes Schweitzer within 30 seconds of each other.
We all felt the same way. Watching this game has been a form of torture. We all felt that.
And then the next one, that was after the
Jermaine
call. That was after the
Jets
Jermaine Johnson roughing,
down.
whatever it was, whatever the actual penalty was, unnecessary roughness. And then another tweet based off that. This is not the same sport I grew up watching. Call it something else. It's getting soft out here. Let the guys play. Let the big boys play.
I love it. And the garbage New York Giants score because of a nonsense penalty. TV might get turned off. That might be the funniest one of them all.
And the garbage New York Giants score.
Oh, man. I really can't watch anymore. 85 yards worth of penalties against the Jets. They don't deserve to win this game. I'm so disgusted right now. And then he starts laughing. My rage has shifted into laughter watching how truly disgusting the Jets offense is. 3rd and 1. Breece Hall's wide open. Zach misses the throw. Tell me that we're back to this.
Man, because that is one thing that we saw from Zach Wilson a lot in the last 2 years that has
Missing the
gotten
easy throws.
rid of this year, which is a big improvement. And then when I saw that yesterday, when I saw him miss wide open Breece Hall on 3rd and 1 and throw it at his feet, I mean, there was like 11 different times where I'm like, we're not winning this game. We're not winning this game. It's not in the cards. We don't deserve to win this game. We made it happen.
We
man.
did it.
And then there we go.
Thanks, Clemens. Another boneheaded penalty.
Clemens' biggest impact play of the season so far.
3rd and 5.
God.
4th and 5, sorry. Punting the ball, goes offsides, giving the fresh set of downs. But the defense is like, it's okay. We're getting another 3 now.
Gosh.
So luckily it didn't bite us in the ass too much. Jack says, I'm starting to come to an awful realization that this team is poorly coached. Half of this team was unprepared to play a football game today. Saleh isn't the defensive coordinator. He's responsible for all of it. Zach is bad. Hackett is bad. But unfortunately for Saleh, it all falls on him. So that's one tweet, and then we got another one.
Now we're getting sketchy here, boys and girls.
Zach is the worst NFL quarterback I've ever seen. If you think otherwise, seek help. I'm so happy I didn't spend the last 3 weeks blowing this guy like so many of you. Wow, praising him for doing the absolute bare minimum. And look, we are yet again. This team is a joke. I'm done.
Come at me, boys and girls.
And then what did he do after Jack sent this tweet? He did the impossible. He did the impossible. Saleh might have to go for this one.
I wasn't specific. Maybe I meant like go get a cup of coffee or go, I don't know. Who knows what I really meant?
And then we're winning the Super Bowl.
That sums up if those tweets don't sum up how we all felt throughout this game, bro, from fire the head coach to we're winning the Super Bowl, from one tweet to the
worst
other.
Quarterback of all time I've ever seen. Fire the head coach. Oh my God, we're actually winning the Super Bowl. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Dude, those are just pure tweets of passion, man, and I don't regret a single one of them.
This game has taken years off my life. Is it crazy to just kick it right now? We've had bad snaps all day, and the Jets found a way. Ha, ha, ha. Have fun on that drive home, Giants fans.
Man, I gotta go see a doctor.
So
after,
these are some ruthless two in a row right here. That was
well, bro, that was
great.
after our like 11th punt in a
of
row.
Course. No, of course. It's just hilarious.
All
to look
hope
back
was
on.
lost. Zach Wilson took a sack on 4th and 10.
It's impulsive. It's impulsive, pure passion tweets. That's what it is,
dude. Pure passion. And you know what? I love it. I love it. That's passion, baby. That's what passion is.
All right, let's get into mine because I was losing my mind as well.
You tweeted like the same thing like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, because it was driving me nuts. Absolutely nuts. All right, starting off is excellent job from the Jets defense to hold them to 3. Come on offense. That's after the Jets turn the ball over on their first possession, and the Jets defense gets a 3 and out, holding the 3 points. And then Bryce Huff gets a sack. Huff, extend that man. I would love to extend Bryce Huff. And then here I am reacting to Breece Hall getting into the end zone. Just going wild.
And
Wild.
Breece makes like 7 defenders miss.
Let's go, Breece Lightning. Breece Hall is so good at football. I was just impressed by my man, Breece. And then what a play from Sauce. This was the play on Darren Waller where he prevented that first down. I was very impressed by that play. Prevented him to get those sticks. Hustle play from Sauce. Needed to give him a shout out. And then Connor McGovern injury. Oh, no, not Connor McGovern. Another injury to the offensive line. Very sad face. Why are we not running the ball on 3rd and 2? I didn't understand it. Why? Why are we not running the ball on 3rd and 2? Very frustrating. 7-3 Jets at half. What are your thoughts? And then we got 182 of you guys saying we stink and we're going to lose. Ugly. Run the ball. NYJ Matt looking at a big pile of shit.
A big pile of poop.
It's hilarious seeing all the response at halftime.
Oh, man.
I cannot believe the injuries Jets offensive line continue to have. How do you even plan for this? Guess what? You can't plan.
You can't. You can't. You don't.
You can't. These penalties are killing us.
And then
a
bunch of cursing emojis.
Just pure frustrating penalties, and more penalties. It's starting to go downhill here. Why are we in empty on 3rd and 1? Why? I couldn't believe that we were running empty sets, just telling the Giants that, yeah, we're passing the ball with 1 yard to go.
Ugh.
In the rain, this offense is making me lose my mind.
Man, oh, man.
Why are we not running the ball on 3rd and 1? Just a reminder, these two are from 2 separate plays.
Yep.
Like, it happened multiple times.
And a third one that we already got through.
And
the same issue.
I'm at a loss for words, sick to my stomach. Just that this is where I kind of felt like it was at the
over.
end, and then here I am. Overtime. What? How are we going to overtime? This is just me losing my mind that we got there. And then, this is when the pass interference happened. And then this is when Greg Zuerlein puts it through the upright. The Jets win. So that's kind of a recap of the game from the lens of Jack and I,
man,
on Twitter.
What a day, dude. What a 3 hours. I had a hell of a day yesterday in general. I was super busy yesterday morning. I was out of the house by like 8:30 in the morning. I had to help out my dad do a bunch of stuff, and we didn't get home until like 12:30. So my morning was work. Had like 10 minutes to make some food, take a quick shower, and sit down on the couch. And then we just watched that hell game of a football game. And man, oh man, I mean, it was like week 1 all over again. Every emotion you could feel in a 3-hour span.
It was
we felt
like the whole time it was negative, the feeling.
Of course, but you know, the elation at the end. I mean, the fact that I wasn't even sitting on my couch anymore. I was literally sitting on the floor, like on my hands and knees, like feeling like I was gonna like pass out or something. It was crazy. Watching Zach Wilson spike the ball with 1 second left in regulation. Greg Zuerlein doing his job.
Did you have any doubt of Greg missing that after seeing Gano miss it?
Absolutely not.
In the elements?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm genuinely, I did not. I swear to you.
Yeah.
And especially once we got into overtime, I knew we were winning the game.
Yeah.
Knew we were winning the game because I knew our defense wasn't going to let them gain an inch.
I was celebrating. There's 1 second left, and like I was watching the game with our friends Paul and James, and they were like coming to high five me, and I'm like, don't high five me until we're in overtime. Because like we need to hit this field goal. We didn't do anything yet. We need to hit the field goal to force it. I had the confidence, and he just put it right through the upright. And then he had to give us a little stress test with the barely hooking it through.
He got it done, baby.
But he got it done. He got it done. All right, guys, let's get into the callers as we are in the last 30 minutes of the show here. We got HP in the house. What's going on, HP?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
What's up, man?
We're doing good, bro. How about yourself?
Good, feeling good. It was disgusting. It was putrid, but it's a win,
Exactly.
And when that happens, I feel like going back, looking at stuff, it's Zach Wilson. I think he plays his best football when he has nothing to lose.
Yeah,
if you
it's
look
weird,
back
right?
at the Chiefs, people were talking about maybe this is the last game he'll start of the whole season. And he ends up having a career performance because maybe in his head he's really thinking this is it for me, and he balls the fuck out, and same thing, 24 seconds, why not just sling it downfield? Sure enough, he does. Still, it's hard to be confident with him, but I think proud of his maturity, proud of the way he handles himself, and hopefully he just keeps filling this game manager role pretty well. I think that the win, most importantly, helps the guys out when LA comes to town, because having this, if it was this disgusting loss, losing to a team with negative whatever passing yards, they're gonna be thinking about that. It's hard not to weigh over your heads when LA comes to town. But I think coming back, showing grit, showing guts, finishing it off, I think the headspace will be right for the Chargers. Hopefully we continue this shit this season.
Showing grit. Showing grit, baby. And that's what it's all about. And HP, we appreciate the call, my friend. Big time shout out to you. And like the grit and the toughness and the adversity, it's becoming a consistent trend. I know that this win is not similar to the other 3 wins we have, but there is a consistency little trend here, is the Jets' ability to handle adversity. And I think that speaks a lot to the head coach, Robert Saleh, to kind of really bring that mindset and make sure that these players never give up on the sideline and stay positive and just keep in the belief.
Absolutely, man. Like you said, putrid, ugly, but a win, which is what we needed yesterday to breathe life into this season, even though the season has life and it had life going into yesterday. But getting that win against our crosstown rival, now we stay at our home stadium. We get the Chargers on Monday night, another very winnable game. Then we hit the road. We head to Vegas. We beat the Raiders. And then we got the Buffalo Bills again, man, who I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see the Buffalo Bills for a second time. Man, this could be the beginning. Hopefully not every win is as ugly as yesterday's, but this could be the beginning of a special run, guys. It really could. When you look at our schedule coming up, it really could be the beginning of a special run.
3 in a row.
You just don't know.
3 straight. Doesn't feel like it because of the bye week, but it's 3 W's straight. All right, next caller, we got Best Jets. Are you there, Best Jets? You're live.
Jets?
Just let me know.
Best Jets, you're live.
Yo, what's up, fellas?
What's good, man?
What up, baby?
What's up? What's up, man?
Hey.
Ugly. But I mean, everybody's got to factor in the weather. It was like a monsoon there yesterday.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Come on, man. I mean, any quarterback would have struggles with that kind of weather. And all in all, I don't think Zach Wilson played that bad. There was a lot of drop passes, except towards the end when he took that sack. That killed me, man. Killed me.
Yeah.
Like I literally threw my phone across the room.
The mistakes that he did
throw
make.
the ball away. I'm not talking about the 4th down one, whatever, But that 1st and 20, whatever the hell it was, why take the sack, dude? You have 3 other tries.
100%.
Why?
You talk about the negatives. It's holding the ball too long, not getting rid of it, and then the positives are like these crazy great throws. It's just again another game of it like this.
That one throw that he had to Lazard that Lazard dropped.
Yeah,
I think the defense played excellent. Besides those penalties, man. Like what the hell, dude? Got to be a little more disciplined with that. I was more pissed off about the Clemens one than I was on the Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah, I mean that's just
because that would have gave us field position. The game could have been over there.
Yeah, that's inexcusable, bro. I mean, absolutely inexcusable. Going off sides on 4th and 5.
Oh, dude, and I like the last person I thought would do that.
Yeah, dude, unbelievable.
Unreal, man. But just like I said, I don't think. I mean, I'm supporting Zach. I don't think he played that bad. He is getting better, just like I said last week. But there is a lot of you can't put all the blame on him, man. There's receivers dropping passes, bro. Alan Lazard dropping passes. Even Conklin dropped a couple of passes. Like, come on,
Breece too.
And even if they're not dropping passes, they're getting 0 separation.
Too, yeah. I mean,
when
we talk about
Garrett
Zach's
Wilson drops
struggles.
the pass, I don't care because he's making the most ridiculous catches.
Yeah, and the catches he drops are not even his fault. It's good defense, right? It's just
Yeah,
like them
exactly.
knocking the ball out. It's like we're expecting him to be like a superhero, which he is, but like he can't do that every single play. And then just factor in the Zach Wilson game, and I watched every throw. It's like he's throwing the ball away. He's taking a bad sack. He didn't really have a lot of inaccurate balls. Like he had one miss where you're like, you got to hit that. It's 3rd and 1, and that's a miss. But like that throw to Garrett Wilson, the left sideline was great. I mean, like there's a lot of things.
Couple miscommunications as well.
Yeah, a couple
miscommunications. We'd like to see
But
that
that
get
one on the
hammered out.
sideline with Garrett Wilson, like, dude, I haven't seen that kind of football from the Jets in a minute.
Yeah, dude.
Like throwing
and,
the ball.
and then we also have to bring up probably like my favorite throw from him, 3rd and 10 in overtime. The Giants throw a 0 blitz, so everyone's blitzing and it's man coverage. So he throws it up to Garrett Wilson to make a play, and it was and 1. Like that play, if he doesn't make that play, who knows? Like there's a lot of different things. He just turned it on when you need him to the most. Can he just turn it on from the first quarter on? Is the question.
God, man, that's what I'm praying for. Like I was confident in yesterday's game, and then when it made it to the second, like when it made it to halftime, I'm like, fuck, man, this is not what I was expecting.
Yeah, dude. Not especially when you see the Giants come out there the first possession and somehow score a touchdown. Just like, oh my gosh.
But, like another thing that killed me is throughout the whole game, once Tyrod Taylor went out, all they're doing is running the ball. And
literally.
It still kept it to a close game, which is like hair pulling, man. And I'm gonna tell you guys a story because I streamed the game off my phone to the TV, And when he got sacked on that 4th and 10, I just threw my phone across the room. I said, and that's it. I didn't even see the end of the game up until I got a notification. Up until I got a notification saying the Jets won. I'm like, what?
Oh, I love that.
I
love
wish I
every
would have saw
Jets
the
fan.
ending. I'm trying to find clips. I'm trying to find everything to try to see it.
So many people have the same
man.
situation. Nobody saw the ending because after that sack, we all thought it was a wrap. I mean,
I thought it was, man. And all of a sudden, I get Jets win 13-10. I'm like, what? What could have happened? I'm like, what could have happened in that amount of time?
Jets football happened, and that's what we have to start realizing. Anything is possible. Well, best Jets, we appreciate you calling in, my friend. And let's go, Jets. We love the energy,
Let's
brother.
go, baby.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Appreciate that, dude.
Love it.
Let's freaking get it, man. Oh, feels good. 99% chance to 1% chance to win. Crazy. We actually pulled off a miracle. A miracle.
We did.
And I said it too when we had the ball on my live show. I was like, all right, guys, 24 seconds left. They have a chance for a miracle. I said that with a straight face. And they actually did it. They did it. What the fuck?
I don't know how the hell they did it, but they did.
Jets for Life is live. Same patient backstage. We appreciate you, bro. Your mic is muted. There you go.
There we go. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Jack. Hey, Richie. How we doing?
Good, man. What's going on?
We're great.
I'm doing really good. I mean, I do gotta admit that game robbed like about 5 years of my life. Such an ugly game, but you know
No
what?
doubt.
We got it done. We got that dub. But I do got to say, Jack, you're right. Like, okay, I see us winning games like this against elite teams. We shouldn't be struggling like this against a shitty ass team like the Giants. Like, we
Yeah, it
shouldn't.
was a rough game, bro. It was a rough game. There's a lot certain aspects of the team are elite, and then certain aspects of the team, have got to go back to square one, it looks like. And obviously dealing with so many injuries yesterday on the offensive line didn't help the cause on offense, but Zach Wilson's in year 3. Hackett, has been an offensive coordinator, a very successful one before. So the excuses are all gone for this offense, man. The excuses are all out the window.
I mean, they got to pick it up. They really do.
Yep.
Like, they got to pick it up.
I think they will. I have a feeling that they will, man. After the bye
I think
week,
so too.
after the bye week, you can start slow. Sometimes that week off can benefit you, but it can also kind of hinder your momentum there. And obviously they're coming off of two wins in a row. Huge win against the Philadelphia Eagles, and then they take a week off. So, I'm just happy that we came out of the game with a win, and hopefully we can come out looking like a real offense against the Chargers.
And I think that's what happened. That, we just slowed down because of the bye week. Because, the past 2 seasons with Robert Saleh, we always come out sluggish. Like, we lost every game after the bye week.
Yeah, that is true. We always said the bye week is our kryptonite. The fact that they were able to pull off that win is going to hopefully transition after the bye week a little bit better.
Exactly. We overcame it. So
we did.
I'm pretty sure with the Chargers, we're gonna pick it up, and we're gonna shut them out, and our offense is gonna be a little bit more better.
I hope so, man. It's probably going to be
brother.
It's going to be a very interesting game, and I think that comes down to the offense for me. That's the only way we win that game if they step up, because we can't rely on the defense too much. Jets for life. Thank you as always for tuning in, my man. We appreciate you big time, brother. Have a good one. All right.
Enjoy your day, bro.
Let's go. Yeah, I think the offense. We're waiting for that game where it just all clicks, and I think it's coming. I really do. I think that the Chargers, they beat up on the Bears. Okay, the Bears are terrible, and like they beat them up bad, but like they're coming to MetLife, and I don't think that offense is going to be able to do like that, bro. They're not going to do shit like that. So we shall see what this Jets defense can do and what the offense can do, and just got to turn the page Monday night.
Let's do it.
They won, though. Next caller is John. What's up, John? How you doing?
What's up, guys? How are you guys doing, man?
What's up, John? Thanks for calling
Jack,
in,
I still have an image like burnt in my brain of you looking like you got struck by lightning when Tony Adams made the interception in the Philly game. It was pretty good. Yeah, exactly. I'll try to make this as quick as possible because I know you got other guys coming, but I have my own story. Usually I live in Western New England. So because I knew they were going to have the Patriots game on instead of the Jets, I went to MGM where they had this awesome movie theater set up where they had the Jets and the Giants on the big screen also right next to the Patriots game.
Oh, that's great.
And I was sitting next to this couple, and it's like, first of all, I bet the under 34.5, which is an absurdly low line, but I just knew with the rain and all that this was going to be it was going to cash no problem, especially when DeVito came in. I was happy. I was like, not only is the under cashing, we're going to win 7-3. But, that didn't happen. And I was sitting next to a couple, and as soon as Kayvon Thibodeau sacked him, we all got up, and I went to the bathroom. I was so pissed off. And then, I go back there and I see the Jets have the ball with 30 seconds left. I'm like, what? I was like, are you kidding me? And, and just like that happened, man. And it's like, first of all, the Maras and the Johnsons should be offer refunds to everyone who had to sit through that shit. That was that game set football back 75 years.
It was literally I think it was the most punts in a game since like 2003 or something like that. It was the most punts in a game in 20 years.
I know, it's sick. And I've been a Jets fan since 1986. I just had a feeling, don't you look like as a fan there's always one game at home in the rain where just they stink it up and it's like a typical like quote unquote same old Jets loss, and I was thinking that this is going to happen again. I was just like, you got to be kidding me. And I was just like, I was jumping up and down the theater when he hit the field goal. The Giants fans celebrated at first because it looked like he missed it to the left.
Dude,
they couldn't see. They thought it was missed, and I was like, no, he got it. And I was like.
Man. It hooked in right through that left upright, and we all were thinking the same thing when that hooked through.
I think the ball was tipped. I honestly think it might have been tipped when I saw the replay.
And bad hold, and I think that's what made a little bit of a miscue, but he got it through.
But we got it through, baby.
real quick before I let you go, before you let me go, what player do you want the Jets to trade for? If not, then what position would you want the Jets to acquire before Tuesday?
Yeah, great
That's
question,
the most
John.
pressing.
Appreciate the call as always, John.
Thank you, John. Appreciate the call, man.
And great story, by the way, being at that sports book.
Yeah, that sounds fun, man. I'm glad they got the win for you, buddy. Very glad.
The trade question is really interesting because, first of all, we have two players available, which is Carl Lawson, Dalvin Cook. We don't know if either of those are going to be traded. Apparently, Dalvin Cook has no interest, but Michael Carter is a player that other teams are interested in on the Jets, the running back, that is. But the Jets got to get offensive line help. I think that's the biggest position with the injuries, and you would love to get another receiver. So if they can make a move for a wide receiver and an offensive lineman, that's what I would do. And like the Jets are going to be signing offensive linemen this week off the street. That's what they're going to have to do at this point with the injuries that they're suffering. It's just so terrible. Give me a wide receiver that has some type of experience in the league and an offensive lineman at the deadline. If you have to give up draft capital, you have to give up draft capital, but that's what I'm doing. I don't know about specific players yet. Like the Broncos doesn't really sound like they're going to blow up their wide receiver corps yet. Hunter Renfrow is a wide receiver you got to keep in mind. Garrett Bowles, whatever his name is for the Broncos, tackles a guy, but we need interior offensive linemen. Maybe the guy from the Titans, I don't know, Ben Jones off the street. But there's a lot of reinforcements that the Jets got to consider heading into the deadline, which is tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, man.
Deadline's tomorrow.
The deadline is tomorrow.
So we shall see.
This team could look a little bit different in the next 24 or 36 hours.
All right, we got the next
We got
caller.
the last caller of the
Naft.
podcast, who's a legend. Naft, how you doing, man?
The legend.
What's up, dudes?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. Doing good.
What'd you think of that nightmare of a game that we all
Dude.
watched?
Dude, all I gotta say, bro, is a win, no matter how it happens. Bro, I was sitting watching the game, and dude, I thought he missed that field goal, and I'm like, oh crap. I'm like, no way. Like, this is not, I was like, I couldn't believe that we were down 10-7 the whole game.
Oh my God.
It was not normal. I'm like, this is the Giants. I'm like, where's the team that beat the Eagles? Where's the team that put up a fight against the Chiefs? Where's the team that beat Buffalo? Like, where did they go? Like, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is not happening. I'm like, we cannot lose. I'm gonna get we're all gonna get pissed on if this goes wrong. And I'm like, this cannot happen. And Richie, I was watching your live video last night, and I'm like, your face was like, bro, you were like dying, bro.
I couldn't contain myself.
It
It
was
was nauseous.
it was painful for almost the whole game.
Yeah, it was
I'm like,
that bad, bro.
It was really bad, bro. We have to the one thing I think the most important thing that we have to Zach and the O-line, that everyone has to work on the offense is that just you got to get those third downs. Like, that's what kills us. That's what just
100%.
I'm always since I've been watching the Jets since 2015, and ever since then, it's always third down. It's always getting the first, and they can never get it. And I see how I was watching also on the side I was watching Will Levis, and I was like, this guy's like a magician. He's throwing and what is going on? No Jets quarterback can ever make a first down. This isn't normal.
And the crazy thing about the third down is the last few games, I'm upset because it's third and long. So it's okay, it's hard to do third and long, but now it's third and one.
And then when it's third, but then when it's third and long, he throws 3 yards.
Yeah.
Why are you throwing 3 yards? At least throw it and try. 3 yards.
And that's just the mindset of being a defensive-minded team where they trust their defense. Let's just be conservative, not force it. But I want them to be more aggressive.
Yeah, the defense was insane,
all over the place, man.
I can't believe
least passing yards allowed in an NFL game since 2000.
It's not even normal how good our defense is. It's not. It's mind blowing.
They're playing on a string. They're playing together. They're communicating. They're playing fast. They're getting to the quarterback.
Listen, if we didn't have this defense, we would be, sorry for my language, but we would be raped every week.
Yeah,
every week.
Absolutely.
We would be 0-7 right now.
Yeah, the defense is the reason why we're 4-3, man. And that starts with the coaching staff, with Saleh down the Ulbrich to the whole coaching staff underneath that tree, that system. We're seeing Saleh's system and Saleh's defense finally.
And all we can hope, the hope
out.
is what I told you last week. Just slow and just make it to the playoffs, and then hopefully,
and hopefully
maybe Rodgers can come back at some point.
Anything can happen if we get into the dance with this defense. I don't care if it's Zach or Aaron. Anything
doesn't matter. The defense wins championships, bro.
Let's do it. 100%. Well, Naft, it's great to see your face and great to celebrate another victory Monday. We'll be in communication, baby. Let's go. Good to see you, man. Big win, bro.
There he is. That's Naft with the Jets take of the week.
So, Jack, what should we do for next week for the pod? Obviously, we have a Thursday pod that we started, but Monday night football. So, do we do a preview show that Monday morning, or do we postpone the pod to Tuesday morning to react to the Chargers game? How do we do it now? It's Monday night football.
I don't know. Should we put a little poll in the chat to figure it out? Because I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, what would you guys prefer us? I mean, I'm probably still going to go live Monday morning regardless.
Of
But in
course,
terms of like the
yeah.
podcast, should we do next week a Monday morning show for call-ins to preview and get hyped up for the Jets Monday night? Or should we postpone the episode to Tuesday morning to react to the game?
I'm leaning towards Tuesday.
Monday preview, MMF, or Tuesday call-in reaction. I mean, that's what it's kind of been. What do you guys prefer? A Monday morning preview Jets Media podcast or Tuesday call-in reaction? Because, and then we are going to, if you guys did not notice by now, Jack and I added a new episode per week, which is Thursdays, which is different. It's a pre-recorded show. So we're not taking call-ins, and we have planned segments and stuff. So we're going to really break down the Chargers game intensely on that pod, which is going to be Thursday, 5 p.m. It'll premiere every single Thursday. So stay tuned for that, of course. So we have 17 votes. 65% says Tuesday.
I thought that was going to be more heavily favored for Tuesday. Oh, now it's getting up there. Oh, now it's getting even again. Oh, now it's getting up there. 70-30 split. 71-29. 70-30. Looking like Tuesday. 71-29.
So it seems like they want you on
68-32.
They like the reactions of the game, the recap of the game.
Yeah.
So maybe we have to do that Tuesday morning.
Because they want to come at me. That's what they want to do.
Nah, they don't want to come at you. We're going to win. We're going to win that game. So November 7th is going to be a Jets Media pod. Mark your calendars.
Mark them, folks.
Mark your calendars.
Mark them.
Oh, my God. We got to win that game. But we're going to get more deeper into it about the Jets and the Chargers game when it all comes. Monday Night Football, MetLife Stadium, and then your boy's going to be in Las Vegas with the Jake Asman crew going crazy. It was great to have Jake Asman in studio Friday. If you guys did not check that out, that was great to have Jake in here.
Yeah, that was cool, man. I liked watching that.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Does a great job covering the Jets, of course.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And that's why we got the studio. That's why I built this out. That's why I wanted to get this office space, is to not only have a podcast with Jack, so we can do this in person and not like have me and Jack virtually and have guests on virtually, right? Matt O'Leary's been a guest, and unfortunately there's not many local Jets creators that I can bring in the studio. Just Jake when he's in town. Matt O'Leary is close by, so he's going to be on here as the season goes on. And of course, Jack is on here twice a week. So it's exciting, man. And just want to give a big shout out to everybody for all the support here on the Jets Media podcast and the Jets Media YouTube channel. The growth has been crazy. You know, hitting over 20K is a big milestone, and let's just keep going, man. I'm not satisfied, baby. Next up is 25K, and then 30, and then 50, and then 100, and then hopefully the Jets win a Super Bowl within those times. Because can you imagine,
man,
the reaction on this channel? Can you imagine a Jets Media podcast reaction show the Monday morning after a Super Bowl win?
No, I can't.
Like,
I literally can't, because
whether it's this year or not, which obviously this year feels very far-fetched, but just like eventually down the line.
I genuinely can't imagine that,
If we
because the
don't-
closest we've ever been in my lifetime is
13 years
the
ago.
AFC Championship when we were 11 years old.
Dude, that would be unbelievable. And another thing, can you imagine this Super Bowl watch party on the channel?
Oh, God.
Dude.
We were talking about that the other day. Like, how would it have to work?
Even
'Cause,
a
like,
playoff game.
I would have to be with my dad. You'd have to be with your dad, but we'd have to be with each other. And my dad would have to be with his best bud. So, like, I don't know. We would
We'd
have
probably
to, like,
get like a bar and just
yeah, we would just have to like rent a place out with like only people that we know and love that are only there to support the Jets. Man, I couldn't imagine that.
Dude, Super Bowl.
Could not imagine.
Well, we'll see if that happens in our lifetime. It will happen in our lifetime. Absolutely. All right, guys, this is going to wrap up the podcast. Just want to thank each and every one of you guys again. If you did not support our podcast on audio form, it would mean a lot to us, folks. If you can go into the description of the video, click that Spotify link or click the Apple link and support us on the audio form. Also, if you guys want to check out Mint Mobile, they are the sponsor of today's show. You guys will get $15 a month of Mint Mobile. If you guys can click that link down below in the description, it'll be greatly, greatly appreciated. That's going to wrap it up. Jack?
A W is a W, as my boy Phenom said earlier in the stream. Shout out to you, Phenom. That's my new favorite phrase. Ugly wins are better than pretty losses, and we got an ugly win yesterday. 4-3 onto the Chargers. Let's destroy them at our home stadium on Monday Night Football in front of the entire country. Let's get it.
Let's go, baby. Ugly win is an ugly win. 4-3, 3 straight dubs. Playoffs. Here we come.
JTS Jets. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you Thursday.
Peace.